Well, good afternoon wherever you are watching from. It's great to have you back. Day 2 of Virtual Windsor, the autumn series for 2020. Now, I know yesterday we literally had people watching from all over the globe. At the moment, it is 10 o'clock at night in Australia, 2 p.m. in Central Europe and South Africa. If you're watching over in the US, then you are up bright and early. It's only 5 a.m. on the West Coast, 8 a.m. on the East Coast, and it's 1 o'clock right here in the UK, broadcasting Virtual Windsor, the autumn series live around the world. The countdown is well and truly over. It's great to have you with us, and I know we keep saying this every single day here, but please remember and hit that share button. It's so important to let all your friends know, and if you're a part of any Facebook groups involved with the equestrian community, then make sure you share it there, because let's face it, your friends will not want to miss a minute of what we have coming up today. Let's take a look actually at what is in store. We're going to be starting this morning with a series of equi-safety competitions. We've got the show ponies, the intermediates and the show hunter ponies. I said it yesterday, we're less than 100 days from Christmas, and you know just how good the shopping is if you've ever been to the Royal Windsor Horse Show. Well, the online version is no different. We've got your shopping fix today. It's all about horse and rider, and don't forget, if you head along to the Royal Windsor website, you can get lots of discounts from all the retailers that you are so used to seeing at that world-class event. Looking ahead to this afternoon, well, it's all about equitation jumping today, and just before that, we have William Whitaker. Now, yesterday, he did a masterclass on course walking. If you missed it, do not worry, it's available right now on our Facebook page. So just search for the Royal Windsor Horse Show, you'll find it on there. And today, we're going to get him on the phone because we went to visit him at home. It was about 3-4 weeks ago now, and we watched him ride a couple of horses. Two completely different horses, actually. A younger one who's really starting to move up the grades. One he's having a little bit of an issue with it rushing its fences. So he sort of talks us through how he works his horses, how he fixes little problems, and it's a fascinating conversation. So make sure you stay around all afternoon. We've got the working hunters in there, and we've been teaming up with our friends at Voltaire Design. So they're going to be chatting about saddle fitting and also how much technology is built into saddle these days. So keep sharing. Let us know where you're watching from around the world. Let us know what time it is where you are, because I know it's either really early, really late, or if you're like us, we're just having lunch. But whatever you're up to, get set, get comfy, get a drink, and for the first time here this afternoon, let's send it over to Nick Brooksward as we get underway, and our first competition takes us to the showing ring.
Well, hello and welcome to this our autumn series of Virtual Royal Windsor Horse Show. And alongside me today, I am thrilled to welcome the two supremo judges. We've got Shirley and Len. We've got Nigel Hollings, the chairman of the British Show Horse Association. And for the first time ever, hello and welcome to Pat Patterson, the chair of the British Show Pony Society. Pat, you're so welcome. Nigel and I are old hands at this. I hope you've enjoyed yourself.
Oh, absolutely, and thank you so much for the invite. It's been interesting, challenging, and thought-provoking too.
And thought-provoking, and as Nigel knows, having looked through 4,000 odd pictures in May and over 1,200 pictures in September, it's quite difficult just judging them from a photo, isn't it?
Absolutely, yes. A whole different criteria, I think, for me, came into place, to be truthful.
Absolutely, and we're going to be judging two championships today, and I've actually got alongside me, look at that, Nigel, you haven't got one of these champion Virtual Windsor, you haven't got one of those, Pat hasn't got one of those, but we're going to be judging.
Hopefully we'll have one as souvenirs if Penny's feeling generous.
Well, I don't think we made enough for you, but obviously we'll send them to Pat, Nigel.
Yes, I just have one question, Nick. If I'm Len and Pat's Shirley,
yeah,
are you Claudia or Tess?
No. Nicola and Wiggy are Claudia and Tess. I'm just the lighting gaffer. That's all I am.
Well, you can be the band leader. I think he's called Dave.
Yeah, Dave, the band leader. Oh my word, absolutely. And So today we're judging all sorts of different ponies. We're judging intermediates, we're judging plattids, but first of all, the show pony. And you both have had champion show ponies. You've produced them, you've shown them, you've won everywhere. What is it that makes a show pony so very special? Pat first.
Oh, well, for me, it's the absolute ultimate elegance in a pony, isn't it? It's the look at me factor, the wow factor, and really, shall I say, poetry in motion, all combined with one graceful swan-like animal that moves, and the superb partnership with the jockey. So the most beautiful of our ponies, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Nigel?
Well, it's three words that sum it up for me, because I remember one of the Royal Windsor Show Pony champions was described in the Times newspaper as the quintessence of beauty. And for me, that just says it all. And I think Pat and I over the years have seen some beautiful ponies that we will always remember, and we're very privileged to have either judged them or seen them.
Totally agree.
Going back 30 years now, Holly of Spring was absolutely the epitome. And then you had Amazing Grace, and you know, you could go all the way through, couldn't you?
Yes, and we must remember that the show pony classes in that era, before the shown to ponies, etc., produced some of our top riders in other disciplines, Olympic gold medalists, Jane Holderness Rodham, and you know, to name just a few. Charlotte de Chardin, she started in show ponies on Arden Hall World Secret. The show pony is responsible for so many things. Plus, it's used in other sort of terms. I mean, David Beckham is the show pony of the football world.
Yeah.
Fine. That's for once in my life, Nigel, I'm speechless.
Well, that's what he was described as.
Yes,
the
he was.
show pony of the football world.
It's marvellous. Great. Well, we come, and I'm very grateful, thanks to EquiSafety. It is the EquiSafety show ponies, and we'll do it as Nigel and I are old stages of this, 1,122 total entries, 16 different nations. And in this particular class, and we found this out in May, that there are ponies coming from the Southern Hemisphere, from the African continent, and it's fantastic to see, and well done to them for entering. So we'll go down, as we always do, 10th to 4th, and then we'll go to our top three. So in 10th place, well done to Serena Parkhouse, Amy Parkhouse riding Jacket's Destiny. In 9th, Anna Dunn, with Ella Dunn riding Abbas Blue Rainbow. Kate Mitchell was riding the 8th place, Tuscany Sweet Serenade, owned by Claire Mitchell. And then we come to the first of our Australian and Southern Hemisphere. Well done indeed to Melanie Skinner riding Diane Godfrey's Mandalay, A Touch of Silk in 7th. In 6th, from New Zealand this time, Ellie Holly and riding with Billy Roach riding Linden Fine Art. And 5th, Annabelle Drake, back to the UK now, Sarah Drake's Stanley Grange Gilt Edge. And 4th, from New Zealand, Billy Roach riding Linden Just a Dream. And the Linden prefix, Nigel, in New Zealand, and Pat, is a very, very well-known prefix, isn't it?
Yes.
So, shall we go to our 3rd place? Who's going to take this one first?
Well, I'm quite happy too, because I'm really, really pleased to say that the 3rd place, Jason Radley on Lyndhurst China Doll from Australia. And this is the most stunning pony. Would very easily win in the UK. And, you know, it just came up against a Royal International winner and a Horse of the Year show winner. But I'd love to see this competing against our best, because I think it would give them a very good run for its money.
Certainly, well done indeed to Jackson Radley and Lyndhurst China Doll. Reserve champion in 2018. So very, very strong pony. Our second place, as you've alluded to, Nigel, but Pat, the second is some pony, isn't it?
Absolutely. For my opinion, it's the model 14-2, isn't it? I haven't got the name. I've got the jockey, Mia Donaldson, but
Wilderness Early Bird.
Yes. Again, I can only say it was a close run thing with our winner, and Nigel and I actually did agree on our top 4, I think it was, and then we had a debate about the others. But the second pony is, again, I can only say, the model 14-2. Absolutely beautiful.
Well,
I'd
well
just
done.
like to also,
sorry, Nigel.
Sorry? Yeah,
No, sorry,
like
you carry on.
Say, the photograph that we see is taken last week at the BSPS Championships, where it won 3 major titles, including simply the best champion show pony, judged by yours truly.
Well done. Yeah, and twice winner at the Royal International Horse Show, twice winner at Windsor, unbeaten all this year, and standing as champion last week. Well done indeed to Mia Donaldson and Wilderness Early Bird. But the winner, many congratulations to Charlotte Caulfield, Louise Caulfield's Stretch Alt New Dimension. Just the supreme. Absolutely. What a picture coming down the centre line at the Horse of the Year show.
I actually totally agree with that. I'm actually going to steal one of Nigel's phrases. It totally captures that moment. And again, going back to the pure elegance. And I think for the jockey, for young Charlotte, that will be something she will remember forever. And in my opinion, the photograph captured all of that. It's very beautiful.
Very beautiful. And under lights, coat gleaming, coming down the centre, having won at the Horse of the Year show, and now your winner here today.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's our reigning pony of the year. It's going to be for 2 years now.
It is.
That is our best pony from the UK, and I think the photograph. I think Pat put it beautifully. I can't add to that.
Fantastic. And do you know what? Tremendous to have a Horse of the Year show champion coming before you two in our virtual series. Really great news. Well done indeed. So there is the winner of our Equisafety show pony. Well done to Charlotte Caulfield and Stretch Alt New Dimension.
Well, many congratulations there to everybody involved, everyone making that top 10, and lots of nice messages already coming in. Hi to Anna Marie, she's watching in Australia this morning. Lots of people tagging their friends in as well, which is fantastic. So if you haven't already done that, in the comments section, just use the @ sign, then type your friend's name, that'll tag them in, and they'll be able to come and join in with the conversation here this afternoon. We've got Brooke watching in America here. Jodie Baker says, OMG, congratulations, Felicity Radley and Jackson Radley as well. Nicole Letty's watching in the Netherlands here. Stag Cold Laser Therapy getting a bit of a free plug, says good luck to all. But yeah, fantastic. Keep those messages coming in. Keep letting us know where you're watching from. Remember to hit that share button below. Oh, so many memories are going to be made today, and you know, people that have never been to the Royal Windsor Horse Show are able to take part. We saw it in May, we're seeing it again here for the autumn edition, and we had over 1,000 entries from people around the globe. So let's continue on with the competition. Let's send it back to the show ring and back to Nick Brooks Ward.
Well, it is the second of our huge numbers of pony classes or British Show Pony Society classes that we have here for our virtual Windsor in the autumn series. Our very grateful thanks once more to Equisafety. It is the Equisafety Intermediate Show Pony. Nigel, Pat, the intermediates have been so instrumental in launching so many top jockeys it is really the stepping stone, isn't it, between ponies to horses, and that's how I've always described it, and that's exactly what it is. They should be a quality show animal, but be able to give the young jockeys up to, what is it, 24 now, 25 now, that's it, up to 25, they should be able to give them the most perfectly mannered ride and exhibit all the true qualities of a show animal. That's correct, isn't it?
Absolutely. I think over the years it's evolved into a tremendously strong section of our competitions, and I think initially it was designed to bridge the gap between young pony jockeys going into the, shall I say, the bigger horse world. And in my money, it has absolutely done that and more. And many of our intermediate jockeys have gone on to great success in the horse world, and have gone on to stay with the competitions. And they have really, really proved their worth. I think Nigel, as chairman of the show horse, hopefully will agree with that it has served its purpose and continues to do so.
Yeah, and the BSPS and the British Shows have worked very, very well together in trying to encourage that the young riders to go into the big horse classes. And it's great to see that some of these animals that are placed in this class are well-known winners in the horse classes too. And a very interesting statistic, about 3 years ago at the Horse of the Year show, the top 5 were all intermediate jockeys.
Were they?
You
That's
know,
fantastic.
yeah, and it really has worked. And some of these animals that we see now in the intermediates, just the next day go in the horse classes and just carry on winning.
And so what's the difference to the uninitiated? And a lot of uninitiated people will be watching this, we hope, and we know from past experience. What is the difference between a small hunter or a small riding horse or a small hack to an intermediate?
Absolutely none. They are young riders, small hacks. They are young riders, large hacks and small riding horses. And they are young riders, small hunters. And you only need to look at the Supreme Champion last week at the BSPS Summer Championships, which Pat, again, getting better at. She judged and did very well. And it was the most beautiful pattern of a small hunter. And that's what they should be. Small hunter, small hack, small riding horse, large hack.
I actually agree with Nigel. There are some of our colleagues on the BSBS board that would say the intermediate should have more pony, be a more pony type. But I actually agree with Nigel. You look at a small hunter and an intermediate hunter, and for me, it's the one and the same animal. But there will be some out there that totally disagree.
Yes, and we can debate this for hours and hours and hours, Pat. But what I would say to that, and I wholeheartedly agree with you both, what I would say to that is that what it is doing is it is then encouraging our young riders to take the step up from British Show Pony Society into the British Show Horse Society and into the Sport Horse Breeding Society, so that they can enter the small hunters, the small hacks, and the small riding horses, or the large riding horses, because you could actually just about get an intermediate that's a large riding horse. So it does create another marketplace.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, I think the intermediate classes, I think you'll agree, Pat, I think the intermediate classes have boosted the horse classes, which really in the 90s were starting to decline. Because of the young riders being encouraged to go into the class, the open horse classes, it's boosted them.
I actually do agree again with Nigel, which is a rarity, let me just say.
We know each other very well, Nick, by the way.
Really? I never knew that, did I?
Yes, that's why we spar against each other.
Yeah, But I think it was what if I said a clever invention? Because let's face it, it was with great foresight. It's evolved over the years to be one of our strongest classes, and as I said previously, it does enable those young jockeys to bridge that gap and to go effortlessly, if you like, into the big wide horse world under the banner of Nigel and his board.
Which can be a scary place. Let's face it.
It can be quite daunting. It's
Yeah.
it's quite a different ball game, and I think the intermediate classes have actually been very effective in what we set out to do. It's taken some time, but I think we are there. They're amazing.
Fantastic.
And they were first started, the brainchild of the late Davina Whiteman.
Yep.
When she first introduced them at the BSPS Championships as, if you remember, Pat, associate classes.
Yes,
And then they morphed into intermediate classes.
we did.
She was certainly one of the great innovators of our sport. There's no doubt about it, the late, great Davina Whiteman. So, shall we go 10 down to 4? And then
Yes.
we'll go 3, 2, and 1. In 10th place from New Zealand, really strong Southern Hemisphere entry. Well done to Chloe Roach and Brookfield's Von Strauss. 9th rather, from Australia this time, Daisy Plum, Daisy with DP London. In 8th place, back to the UK now, Paige Thompson, British eventer. This one, it is Silver Mines Irish Ruby. In 7th place, Monique Drabby, with riding Eve Dragon riding Withymoor Damsel. And in 6th place, staying in the United Kingdom, it is Reese Shakespeare riding Vicky Rudd and David Jinx's Flora's Bertola. Novice this year. Then we go back to the Southern Hemisphere. Congratulations in 5th place. Lovely gleaming sunshine there. And a lovely dark bay just of Talalay Park Mercury Rising, Sally Bond from Australia. Congratulations to them. In 4th place, then we go back to the United Kingdom. What a stand that is. Standing 4 square, and that's exactly what you want in a photo. It is Pippa Telfer riding Vicky Rudd's Shildon's Regal Gold. Then we go into 3rd. And the 3rd place came over from Ireland, as so many do. Who's going to pick this one up?
Well, I can, if you're okay with that, Pat. I mean, what a lovely pattern of an intermediate hunter. The jockey is going forward with the animal. Looks a lovely ride. Of course, it's a Carlsdale one. They've had some wonderful Carlsdale animals, especially in the workers. And that would win anywhere.
Well, they were 7th last year at the Horse of the Year show. Came over from Ireland, and Libby, who rode Carnsdale King's Secret, Libby Taylor-Hopkins, with Amanda Picillo's Carnsdale King's Secret. Libby has been riding since she was 3, and a real stalwart in the British Show Pony Society. So well done to them. They're 3rd. 2nd, staying in the United Kingdom, 2 really good stories from 1st and 2nd. And this qualified for the Royal International in the Showhound of Ponies and the intermediates in 2019. And well done to Lucy Stewart and Frida Newton's Ebony King. Pat?
Yes, I think this is our 2nd place, and I think Nigel said earlier, it's a cracking hunter pony, and a worthy, could have been a worthy winner. For me, I looked and debated between 1 and 2 at length. They're very different types, both perfect in their type. So yeah, I was happy for this to be in our 2nd place, because I just gave the nod to our intermediate, which was Lucy Glover. But I have to say, well done indeed to the top 2. They were, in my opinion, quite outstanding.
Yeah, and I think the nice thing about it, it just proves what we as judges were looking for, because this horse was extremely successful with James Monroe in our hunter classes.
Yeah.
And James has been very successful winning the Horse of the Year show on this horse. James and his partner Russell Skelton live in John O'Groats, or just below it by about a mile. And you can imagine all the travelling to shows that they do. And they also produce the Supreme at the Horse of the Year show, and that lovely working hunter pony called Coco Bongo, which was judged by my fellow chairman at the Horse of the Year show in 2019. So it's a very successful partnership, and I think Lucy is actually Frida's niece. I think, I could be wrong. And of course, Frida, like we discussed the other day, Frida Rapson, had owned Jamaica Bay and that wonderful middleweight of Roberts King's Warrior, which we all remember. So it's a great combination with a lot of history in showing.
Yeah, they were champion at Windsor twice, and the Horse of the Year show, Royal International 2019 Supreme. So well done. The winner of our Equisafety Intermediate. Congratulations to Lucy Glover and Saracen Heavenly Silk, competing there at the Horse of the Year show in 2019 in the Top Spec Arena. Thank you very, very much. Thank you to all our competitors, and well done to Lucy Glover and Saracen Heavenly Silk.
Well, lots of people already getting involved and saying congratulations there to Lucy. Both Lucys, in fact, first and second here in the final standings. If you haven't yet got involved, if you've not let us know where you're watching from or said hello, if you've got a birthday today, anything like that at all, stick it in the comments section below, because we want this to be as interactive as possible as the days continue here in the autumn series of Virtual Windsor for 2020. I got to say a special hello to Robin watching in Cape Town. Good to have you with us, Robin. And also the NP Equestrian Club by Mana. They are in Thailand and watching. And if you haven't been to Thailand, they've got such an active equestrian community. I was there for the inaugural Asian Championships at the end of last year in a place called Pattaya, and it was absolutely stunning. I love Thailand, and they've had a real hard time recently with African horse flu there, of course, as well as the global pandemic that is going on. So hopefully I'll be getting back to Thailand fairly soon. But anyway, continuing on with the afternoon, we know there's a lot still to enjoy, as well as the showing, as well as the shopping, the horse wellness. We're also continuing on with our series with William Whitaker. He is going to be on the phone about 10 to 3 here this afternoon and discussing what happened when we went round to his and watched him ride a couple of his incredible up-and-coming horses. So stay with us for that. It's about 10 to 3 this afternoon. Keep hitting that share button, tag your friends below. But let's get back to the show ring, where we'll find Nick Brooks-Ward.
Well, it is back again. Pat Patterson and Nigel Hollings. Len and Shirley are with me here, and I'm just Dave, the musician. And welcome back, and our very grateful thanks once again to Equisafety for their tremendous support of these show pony classes, and it is the show hunter pony class. We had 32 entries that they had to look through. We've had 1,122 entries in total throughout the whole of this autumn series, and 16 different countries. And yet again, we have a number in the top 10 from Australia. So, Madam Chair of the British Show Pony Society, can you explain to the uninitiated what the difference is between a show pony, a show hunter pony, and a working hunter pony?
Yes, I can. I'm going to perhaps surprise, upset quite a few people. It's limb and substance. The show pony should have limb, but it should be elegant and graceful. The show hunter pony will have more limb, more substance, standing for square. And this is where some will they're rolling their eyes at me. In my opinion, the difference between a show hunter pony and a working hunter pony is that the working hunter pony has all the elements of a show hunter pony, but with the ability and the scope to jump. I do not believe that anything that jumps is a working hunter pony. It should be a hunter pony. with the ability to jump. So I'm on record for saying that, and I'm saying it again.
And I 100% agree with you. I was just going to put it the other way around. The working hunter pony is a shown to pony that can jump.
Yeah, it is.
And
I know-
should actually be able to do the job.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether you remember, Pat, but a number of years ago, it was a huge honour to go and judge the Winston Churchill at the Royal International Horse Show.
Yes.
And this cracking little chestnut working hunter pony came through and flew past me. And then I just thought, oh my word, it took me back 40 years to my first hunting pony. And it was on the bridle. There was such symbiosity. There was such a partnership between the jockey, the little girl, and her pony. And she just smiled and smiled and smiled. And I know that we're going to go on to the working hunter ponies a little bit later on. And then Stuart Hollings wrote some article about it. How can you have a working hunter pony winning the Winston Churchill Supreme? And it wasn't good in its conformation. And I went to Stuart afterwards and said, I beg to differ. That pony looked after its child, and that pony would go all day. And actually, it doesn't matter about the conformation. It's about the limbs, and it's about the ability for the child to gain enjoyment through the ponies. And we've still not agreed about that, have we, Nigel?
No, he just keeps citing freedom of the press, which is a bit of a lame excuse, isn't it?
So some great ponies. You had 32 to judge, some great ponies, and you've got ponies from Australia as well.
Well, that's what pleases me more than anything, because Australia, they have some beautiful show ponies. But when you look at some of these ponies that from Australia and the shunter ponies, I tell you what, there's some corkers in that class. And I was so pleased to see them. And they are obviously breeding some lovely shunter ponies over there as well.
Great. Brilliant. Okay, so should we do, as we always do, go 10 to 4? And our very grateful thanks to EquiSafety for the show Hunter Pony. In 10th place from Australia, well done to Jade Salisbury and Clintana Tutti Frutti. 9th place, staying also in Australia, Annalise Hughes and Corndale Kiss and Tell. 8th place, another from Australia. They really are popular down there. Well done to Jackson Radley and Sandra Donovan's Astral High Society. In 7th place, coming back to the United Kingdom now, we have Isabella O'Donnell and Millwood Kaiser Chief. Lovely picture of that. In 6th place, Eleanor Ferry, Eleanor with her own Tambrook silhouette. In 5th place, another of the great prefixes, it is Lily Brennan with the Thistledown Sea Mariner. In 4th place, Australia bound, it is Emily Murray and Regal Manolette. And well done to Emily. So 4 out of your top 10 all the way from Australia. That is great. So now should we go to 3, 2, 1. In 3rd place, they were the Royal International winner, Royal Windsor winner, and Supreme Show Hunter Pony at the Summer Championships in 2019. Pat, it's your championships, and you must have brought a smile to this when you saw this picture come through.
Absolutely right, I did. And I'm going to say that Nigel and I had, I think, the longest chat about the top 3 here that we had in any of the other classes. Is that right, Nigel?
Yes, it was, and you won.
Yeah, well, you know. That, yeah, they were 3 amazing, the top 3. And I loved, I have to say, all 3 of them. It was difficult to place them, but I loved Mia Donaldson's. It is, I think, if I was truthful, I would have liked probably a better photograph of it because I know the pony. But it's a cracking hunter pony. So yeah, it was a hard task, but we did discuss it at length, didn't we, Nigel? The top 3 here.
Well, actually, the top 5, Pat, because bear in mind the 5th pony, is a Royal International winner. So for the Australian pony to come fourth is a huge achievement for them.
Yes, we did. And backwards and forwards, can I just say? And it wasn't.
Yeah, you wore me down, Pat. You wore me down.
Well, if you look at the top five, the fifth place won £1,000 at the North of England Supreme, Nigel. The fourth place from Australia, Regal Manolet, and has only been shown for the last 18 months. Winner of the Victorian Horse of the Year in both the Open and Charles in 2019 and 2020. Your third, Royal International, Royal Windsor and Supreme Showhunter pony at the British Show Pony Society Summer Championships last year. And now second, well, the stable name is Socks, and they've owned him for 2 years and has won pretty much everything. Your second pony, congratulations to Ella Pybus and Just Murphy II. Nigel?
Yes, well, I don't know if you can remember Nick or Dave. Cast your mind back to Royal Windsor, and this was our Reserve Supreme. The most wonderful photograph, and this is no exception. This animal is just the most magical animal on the go. A lovely pattern of hunter pony. It couldn't be anything else. You know, you just look at it. Ella rides the pony beautifully and was very unlucky not to win again. But when you see our winner, you'll see why. And the story I can tell you about that as well. But no, the show to pony class was wonderful. To get so many from overseas and against some of our best animals that we've had in the last few years.
What I love is the toes. I mean, it is such a picture, isn't it?
Yeah. Just floats. Absolutely floats.
Absolutely. Can I just say, I have judged this pony and I watched it through the novice ranks, and I think it's exactly what it says, and it floats. It's a really good stamp of a hunter pony. And it was, as Nigel said, it was a hard decision, but it was beaten by winner, very small margin, but you'll see why.
So second, Just Murphy II and Ella Pybus. But now we come to the winner of our Equisafety Show Hunter Pony. And well done to Charlotte Caulfield and Romano Spot of Distinction. Charlotte, who of course won at the Horse of the Year show last year. And it's the Jinx Show team. And this, only a novice.
Yes. And a beautiful stamp of a hunter pony. Absolutely beautiful. Again, you know, and you can see why we had the debate between the top three, as Nigel said, the top five, but this was, for me, the out and out winner. I love it.
Any disagreements?
A little. But what I love about this pony, if you had to show a shown to pony model to some young judges, up and coming judges, you would use this. You'd use the photograph, or you'd use the pony in real life. But the great story about this, and poor Stuart, I mean, he's had some knocks this last few minutes, but I have to defend him on this one because he judged at Midlands Counties, and he judged the shown to pony young stock. And usually when he's been judging, he comes home and spends a few days telling me every class result, first to fifth, why he's done this, that, and the other. But on this occasion, he came back and he just talked about this pony, because as a 3-year-old, he put this pony, shown to pony breeding champion, and he said to me, that is a pony for the future. I mean, it was owned at the time by Alwyn Fradley's father. And it looks like for once, he's been proved right. But it's a stunning pony, and you would use that pony as an example of a really, really top young shown pony.
Well done indeed. Congratulations, Charlotte Caulfield and Romano Spot of Distinction 2021. Here you come. That's all I can say. Thank you so much to Equisafety, and thank you and well done to all our finalists in the Show Hunter Pony.
Well, Congratulations messages already starting to come in on social media, so if you are sending those in, a big thank you. I know how much they are appreciated by everyone who has been taking part. Isla Miller says, well done Lucy. Vicky Woods watching in Middlesbrough. Brett Tanny says hello from Australia. We've had somebody watching in Orkney here this afternoon. Ottawa, Canada, Honolulu, Hawaii, literally people from all over the world. So keep letting us know where you're watching from. Let us know what you're up to this afternoon as well. I know we've got a busy afternoon coming up. We've got that Will Whittaker masterclass. He's going to be on the phone a little bit later. We're going to have some horse wellness advice from our friends at Voltaire Design. We've got loads of competition still to come. And of course, today is all about the Omega Equine Equitation Jumping. That's our final instalment to come later on here this afternoon. Now, you might be sitting there thinking, that music in the background, it sounds a little bit Christmassy. Well, that's because, what are we now, about 96, 97 days till Christmas? You've got to get that shopping started, and there's some huge discounts and great deals available. If you head along to the Royal Windsor website, you can find all the vendors you'd normally find at the show. But if you're a bit like me and sometimes need a little bit of inspiration, then fear not, because that's exactly what we're going to bring you now.
Hello everyone, my name is Pam Swift and I run the shopping at Royal Windsor Horse Show. Today we're going to look at the horse and rider section. So this is everything that you can possibly imagine for the happy hacker, the competition rider, everything in between, and also things for your horse and things for your dogs. So do take a look at the shopping fixes.
Hi, I'm Emily Gaudry from Equestrian. As some of you may know, at Equestrian we offer quality handmade accessories for the competition rider and their horse. Our range includes jewelled and Swarovski crystal brow bands with matching stock pins, stocks and hair accessories. We have a fantastic range of bespoke tailored competition jackets and waistcoats. Why not come and see us? Today I thought I would tell you about our interchangeable stocks that are totally unique to us. We offer a range of around 50 base stock fabrics that you can choose from, with over 58 different interchangeable coloured middles to allow you to create a completely unique look for your competition wear. All you do, choose your base, choose your middle and pop them in. Our bling brow bands plus matching stock pins can be totally bespoke to your requirements. We have also added a fantastic range of Swarovski crystals for even more sparkle. Here's just a small range of what we can do.
Obviously, training horses on different surfaces, there's a science behind it, and our vet quite simply says, you know, the more different types of surfaces you can train your horses on, the better it is for their legs, their joints and their tendons. So I chose Active Track for outside, Eco Track for inside. They're slightly different rides. The outside one, as you can see, also is not too bright, which I think is quite important. If you're riding all day and teaching all day, you want a surface that you can actually look at when you're teaching on. I had the base refurb because, of course, like any surfaces that anybody has, without a really good base on them, you know, they're not going to work to their maximum. We live literally on a floodplain here in Gloucestershire, so it was very important that we did that. So I'm happy that that's been done now. The surface rode from day one like I would expect it to ride in 6 months, which for me was very important. I think that says, you know, a lot when the surface goes down and the very next day you ride on it, you feel like you've been riding on it all your life, and your horses are comfortable and stable on it. And that was very important, so I'm glad to see that happened. And then, of course, with our Eco Track inside, we have a lighter surface. It brightens up the indoor school, it makes it seem bigger, it makes it seam larger. You know, everybody that's seen it has commented, you know, on just how bright it looks, and it just enhances the whole property really. So very happy with what we've done. The thing is, when you actually get a surface that you can feel the difference in the way that your horse goes, I mean, it's just magnificent. I mean, dressage is about elegance, it's about movement, it's about power, and it's also about expression. And your horse really needs to have an amazing surface to get that feeling off. And there is nothing like trotting around the edge of an arena that has got amazing quality and feel to it. because you know by the way that your horse is expressive that he's actually enjoying the surface as well.
This is Coco modelling one of our 9-year-old rugs. We have a really good selection of second-hand, reconditioned Activo Med rugs in stock at the moment. You can see it's in really good condition. It's got the shoulder areas and the thigh areas, and you've got pulse electromagnetic and massage from the tail right up to the top of the neck. You've got set programs suitable for pre-warm-up, recovery and rehabilitation. All the components have been checked. It comes with a brand new battery and a year's warranty. Good morning, just to talk to you about the ice horse boots. This mare has been galloping around the field, we think, and just got a little bit concussed in front. So I've put the ice horse boots on. These are the suspensory wraps. They cover from just below the knee to over the fetlock area, so really good area of coverage. The ice packs inside them freeze to snow-like consistency, and those will stay cold for 2 hours. So I wouldn't leave the legs on for 2 hours, but it makes sure that there's no warming up during the treatment. So they'll come off in about 20 minutes. You can see they fit, and you can get some good compression to the legs as well. Really good, and when I take those off, the legs will feel really cold.
Hi everybody, welcome to Country Frog. What we are is an equestrian personal shopping service where we offer extremely good quality brands supplied by amazing manufacturers, which allows us to give exceptional customer service. When it comes to competition jackets, we've tried quite a few different brands, but every single time we just keep saying, why don't we just stock Piquet? Piquet are brilliant. They're priced right. They go in the washing machine. There's a different cut to fit virtually every body shape, and we know when we see somebody virtually what we know will fit them, and people are so excited when they actually look so sleek and elegant. The colour range is superb, every single cut is superb, and the size range, you can even go for a longer length if you're longer in the body. Just a top tip is that on every single jacket you will find the washing machine instructions on the inside of the pocket. Put them in the washing machine, hang them on a coat hanger, let them drip dry, just flash a bit of steam at it, not actually direct onto the garment, and it's like brand new every single time. Another firm favourite brand that we supply is De Niro boot. Now, we were at the point of giving up with made-to-measure boots because whatever we ordered, whatever we measured, it never came together for the customer, and I wasn't prepared to let people down. And then we decided to give it one last try with De Niro boots. Wow, I'm so glad we did. What a fantastic company. Again, another Italian manufacturer, fantastic customer service backed up with great UK agents. And it allows us to give you such an amount of choice of colour, of size, of fit, and just an absolutely outstanding product. There's 8 different calf sizes on the standard size chart, so you're not paying the huge made to measure. Generally we can get people in an actual off the peg size of boot rather than paying hundreds of pounds extra. Or if you want that completely bespoke, that's up to you. So you can actually personalise the shape of the top, the toe, the type of leather, laced, unlaced. We've got a range that comes with elastic panels. All of this can be bespoke, and it's all quite affordable. And the other thing that you don't really get to know about is the actual repair service that's available, which is superb, and they come back looking like brand new. De Niro boots, a firm favourite.
How do I know what size bridle I need?
English Bridles has a measurement guide. It's on the homepage of the website.
What if I get it wrong?
English Bridles will look at the measurements and discuss them with you before they put the bridle together.
My bridle doesn't fit properly, so I can't use it for measurements.
If you hold your bridle up, I'll show you how to do the measurements. First, the brow band. Measure from one end of the brow band to the other. If the bridle you are using has a brow band that is too big or small, make a note on the form. Then measure the headpiece, undo the throat lash, and measure from one end to the other. If you think it is too big or small, make a note on the form. Then the bit-to-bit measurement. Start with the cheek piece joins the bit one side and measure over the head to where it joins the bit the other side. This measurement helps get the right size cheek pieces and head straps on the noseband. If the cheek pieces don't line up with the noseband, measure how much below they are. Then measure the noseband. Measure the nose part undone from one end to the other, excluding the buckle. Then measure from the buckle to the hole that you do up on. Finally, measure the noseband from where the strap joins the noseband one side over the head to where the strap joins on the other side.
Will it cost more?
No, if you give English Bridles the measurement when you buy the bridle, it will be the same price as on the website.
Will I have to buy 2 bridles?
No, email the measurements to English Bridles and they will put the bridle of your choice together.
How do you measure for a grackle bridle?
First the brow band, then the bit-to-bit measurement, then measure from the ring one side over the head to the ring the other side. Then measure the 2 straps that go around the nose and mouth. Finally, measure the strap at the back of the nose. To use the bridal fitting service, email the measurements to info@englishbridals.co.uk. Remember to include details of the style of the bridle you want and whether you want black or Havana.
Voltaire Design are proud to be working with Royal Windsor again this September. To find out what offers are going to be available, keep an eye on all our social media platforms. Also head over to Virtual Windsor to enjoy your virtual shopping fix. We introduced our new Lexington grain saddle. It offers the same as our Lexington range, which is ever so popular, but this is just adding something a little bit different, more durability. So this is the grain that follows down in the flap. Still getting your security, your comfort of any other Lexington, but we're just adding this durability, which also makes it a little bit more cost effective for people. Again, all the customization is exactly the same. We work in all 4 areas of the panel for the horse. Super wide gullet, the same again for the rider, seat size, flap length, how forward cut we go, what size blocks we put on, and other little customizations. When you're looking at the saddle, we are basically working in all 4 areas of the panel, which suits the horse as contours throughout, running up the shoulder, down past the wither, centre of the horse's back and the back of the saddle. We don't fit in one area, we fit in all 4 areas to suit the contours of the horse. That way we can give them the most comfortable and the equal contact across the horse's back which they require to do the jobs we ask of them. We also set our gullets super wide, so we're sitting on the muscle of the horse and not interfering with the sensitive areas down the spine. Also, when things get a little bit more complex, we can go further in dropping panels, reshaping panels in certain areas, setting radiuses in certain areas as well to give a little bit more freedom if you've got that super sensitive horse. For example, if something's got a kissing spine and things like that and they just want a little bit more comfort, we can accommodate that. With these saddles, there's over 2,500 combinations, so being able to find something that suits you as a rider, but mainly your horse, we can make it very straightforward to suit the contours of your horse and give them the comfort they require.
Alongside our range of saddles, we've also got a beautiful range of girths to go with them, from stud girth, dressage girth, which is on your little pulley system to accommodate the 2 individual straps of the dressage saddle. And then we have our anatomical girth for your jumping with the attachment for your martingale breastplate, and that comes in short and long. So all our girths are beautifully padded on the underside for the comfort of the horse. They're all made in the lovely leather to match your beautiful saddle. So take advantage of the fantastic offer we have on at the moment. Take advantage of our fantastic offer. We've got 20% off accessories when you purchase them through the website.
I really hope you enjoyed those shopping fixes, and we hope to see you again really soon.
Well, thanks there to Pam. She'll be back tomorrow with more shopping fixes. Lots still to come here this afternoon. We've got horse wellness with Voltaire Design. We're going to be going off to the Working Hunter Arena as well. William Whittaker He's got another one of his masterclasses today. He's going to be on the phone and discussing what happened when we went to visit him and he was schooling a couple of his horses. And then the finale of today, just after 3 o'clock this afternoon, the Omega Equine Equitation Jumping. Hi to Phyllis, who's watching in Kansas, USA. She says, I've enjoyed every photo you've posted. Well, thanks for watching, Phyllis. So glad you're enjoying it. Susan's watching in New York. Paul McDuffie's watching in Ontario, Canada. And Stephanie says, well done to Jennifer Gilchrist of the Romano Stud in Scotland for breeding such a lovely show hunter pony. Great to hear from you, Stephanie. Keep those messages coming in. Let us know where you're watching from. Let us know what you're up to. What are you enjoying? What would you like to see more of? And if you get a chance as well, make sure you head across to the website. Links on social media as well. Not only will you find lots of great discounts from the vendors that you've just heard from, but you'll also find our brand new and exclusive official merchandise. There really is something on there for everyone. It makes ideal Christmas presents, and I know this will be important to a lot of you out there, we ship worldwide. So if you're one of those people who are watching in Australia, who have posted in a picture, who have done well, and who want a bit of a souvenir to remember your virtual Windsor experience, then do not fear, because that merchandise is now available. It's online, it ships worldwide, and as I mentioned before, wouldn't it make such a great Christmas present? Get over there, have a look at that, have a look at the discounts, and while you do that, let's send it back to Nick Brooks-Ward. He's had a bit of a break, and he's now back with more judging and more competition here at Virtual Windsor.
Welcome back. It is class number 12. It is our miniature show pony, leading reins, first riddens, you name it, we've got the lot. And it's always the one that gets the crowd going. It's always, ooh, ah, and it's the real tug on the heartstrings, isn't it? And do you know what I love? I love the outfits in the lead reins because they're just identical.
Yeah, I think it is a fashion parade as well, but you know.
And you two, being the most experienced judges, or two of the most experienced judges in the world, do you look at the outfits?
I have to do. Yeah.
I'm glad you said that. I was going to answer that, but now you have. I agree. Yeah, you do.
Some of them, when they coordinate and colour coordinate with jockey and leader, and they're not too outrageous, then I think they've taken a lot of time and effort and trouble. And I have to say, I think some of the hats of the leaders have calmed down over the years. They were at one time seemed to be a fashion parade, but it's perhaps not so outrageous now. Trousers seem to have taken in over the traditional pleated skirt. But yes, I can't help it. I do look at the outfits.
And not being a fashionista, but culottes seem to be taking over the world as well, don't they?
I understand why, Nick, because I think there's a freedom of movement there, isn't there? Rather than skirts.
Well, Pat, if you're model athletes like Nigel and I, then you don't need to worry about that, do you?
I'm counting myself out of this one.
So okay, Nigel, I'll come to you now. What are you looking for when you're judging a miniature show pony? You're judging a smaller variety, but also you must be taking into account the manners and the way that the pony responds to the jockey, mustn't you? Because some of them are minute.
Yeah, I mean, that's the crucial thing. I mean, it's all about safety. It's all about a child learning how to ride and show on a little pony. So it's important that your lead rein and your first rein do not go like 13-2 show ponies. You know, it's too big a stride for them. And, you know, there's nothing worse when you're judging than seeing a child terrified when they come in the ring. That's not what it's all about. It's like nursery school. They go to nursery school they leave their family, They go, they learn things, they interact with others, and they just basically enjoy themselves before they go to big school. And the child must enjoy themselves, and the picture must be correct. It must be in harmony.
I actually, again, agree with Nigel. I'm quite amazed.
You're doing quite well, Pat.
Yeah, aren't we really? I can say that for me, I think the first ridden pony should be the most important one that you actually buy for your child. Manners have got to be paramount. You know, bringing the child back safely and having had the fun and enjoyment has got to be the top priority. That's in my book.
And it's all to do and I totally get you, Pat, and 100% agree. I mean, I've seen some, as we all have, over ponies basically for the child. But when you come to the lead rein, it has to be, it's an art now to make sure that the person that's handling or leading the pony is absolutely in tune with the trot and with the walk and with the pony, and it's become an art form, hasn't it?
Yes, I do agree, and I think the ones that are successful practice at home, probably without the jockey on board, and there are some out there that are very, very good, amazing, pleasing to watch.
Yeah. So what have we got? We had 24 to look at in this, and yet again, entries from overseas. Only one made it for the top 10 from overseas. But should we get into it? In thanks to Crafty Pony for their support of the prizes in this, the mini ponies. In 10th place, Sarah Burdess with Rosedale Mr. Prospect, Jenny Deary's Rosedale Mr. Prospect. In 9th place, Oscar Elcock and Mardruid Caradog. In 8th place, Isla Bond with Emma Burbank's Kelkadi High Noon. 7th, well done to Charlotte Bunting and Oldmere Lynette. 6th place, Kate Mitchell with Claire Smith's Trefu Earl. In 5th place from Australia, the Australian National Lead Rein runner-up in 2017. It is Estelle Gore-Johnson and Christy Pollock's Langtree Just Divine. And then 4th, and I know that you all had lots of discussions about your top 5 yet again, and quite rightly so. Well done to William Hall and Stanley Grange Marina. Then we get to your top 3, and they've all been winners. They really have. You know, first ridden show pony doubles, horse of the year shows, Royal Windsor, and your top 3. 3rd, congratulations. Well, the family that is steeped in showing majesty, and well done to Isabella Walker and Sorrel's Royal Jubilee, with Dad Robert looking as proud as Punch.
Yeah, it's so nice to see, you know, sort of Robert with his daughter in the lead reins, because we see him on these wonderful Hunters and Cobs, and it's just a delightful pony. Again, taken at the BSB Summer Champs. I just love the photograph.
I agree. Again, Nigel and we had a great discussion about this, and we did change the order around, but the top 3 we actually totally agreed upon. And every time I say it, I'm quite amazed, but I do agree. It was a delightful photograph and lovely to see father and daughter enjoying that moment.
Wonderful. Well done. 2nd place, now that we turn our attention from the leading rein to the first ridden, double winner of the Royal International, produced by that great producer, Craig Eleanor, and well done to Charlotte Wilson with Kim Wilson's Lytton Perfection. Nigel, I can see why you picked this one.
Yeah, I mean, my daughter, she's grown up now, but obviously was very successful in lead rein and first ridden. And again, when I'm judging, I'd like to think, would my daughter be happy on that pony? Would she enjoy herself on that pony? This pony is just the ideal model of a first ridden, beautiful pony. And the child looks happy, and she looks as though she can't wait to go out and trot and do a show. And that's what it should all be about. And I just loved it.
Again, I agree. The photograph actually shows that the child is trotting along and enjoying it. Totally agree. Again, the epitome of a first ridden pony.
Fantastic. So we come to our winner. Our thanks to Crafty Pony for their tremendous support. Your winner, congratulations to Isabel Smith with Steve Hutchinson's Teresa Party Girl. Look at that in the Top Spec Arena in the Champions Hall at the Horse of the Year Show 2019. Our wonderful leading rein pony.
Yeah, I mean, it is a beautiful, beautiful photograph, a beautiful pony. I mean, I have judged it, and I did put it mini champion at mid-hearts. It is a young pony, but it also looks so full of presence, just enough for a lead rein, and the quality of it. The handler is going, like you said, Nick, the handler is going with the pony. It was a very, very difficult situation between the first three, but this is the one I think both Pat and I just fell in love with.
The cute factor, isn't it? It is, you said earlier, the R factor. Lovely.
What I love about the lead rein and the first ridden and the lead rein of Hunter Type at the Horse of the Year Show in the Top Spec Arena is the stands are so close to the ponies. And you look at that picture there and you think, what a beautifully well-mannered pony. Absolutely. On a long rein and beautiful showing, and not batting an eyelid, just looking after the child.
Yeah, and enjoying itself, and the you know, that's what it's all about. And I love these photographs from the Horse of the Year Show, the big main arena at Hickstead as well. They have such atmosphere, because this is what we all aim to do, is to ride at these wonderful places. And one of the greatest thrills showing people have is that main ring at the Royal Windsor with the castle in the background. The photographs from there, it just says it all.
I agree with that. Totally awesome.
Certainly does. Well done. And thanks very much to Crafty Pony. Well done to Isabel Smith and Teresa Party Girl, the winner of our miniature ponies.
An amazing pony, isn't it? Isabel Smith there taking that victory. We've got the championship on the way in a couple of minutes' time. Claire says, great hearing the commentary on the showing classes. It really is a masterclass in judging, always learning. And I think you are so right, Claire. I know a lot of people said this when we did Virtual Windsor back in May as well. It's so interesting to hear what actually goes on in the judge's head, because even at those big shows, like Nick mentioned there, you know, Horse of the Year Show, when you're out in the Top Spec Arena, they've got some of the best judges in the country, best judges in the world there, as they do at the Royal Windsor Horse Show, but you never really hear what's going on in their head. What are they looking for? What made them decide that, you know, first should be first and second should be second? So it's a real education, and I suppose very helpful as well if you are competing in those rings. This is what is still to come here this afternoon. We've got the Horse Wellness with Voltaire Design, Working Hunter and Working Show Horse competition, Working Hunter ponies, the M&Ms are in there, and then of course another champion will be crowned. Then a little bit later on we've got the Omega Equine Equitation jumping, and you can't forget William Whitaker. He will be here as well. He's going to be on the phone chatting to us about what happened when we went to visit him and see him ride a couple of his horses at home. And some of you may have noticed as well that he is wearing part of the official merchandise. Yep, the Virtual Windsor Geely, that's been modelled there by William Whitaker, but there really is a full range. So if you haven't seen it already, then make sure you head along to the website. The official merchandise is available. It's got worldwide shipping, makes ideal presents. And one final thing to remind you about is to get involved. These 3 days are all about you. Everyone had a chance to enter. Now we're making memories. Now we're crowning champions, crowning winners here, and sharing some great content too. So make sure you let us know where you're watching from. Let us know what you're enjoying, what you'd like to see more of as well. And if you haven't already done so, and in fact, if you've already done it, do it again. Hit that share button, and not just to your own page. Try and share it into as many groups and stuff as you can. Let's share that message that people can access Virtual Windsor and see the rest of the content, because don't forget, not only have we got more good stuff to come today, we've got another full day tomorrow as well. William Whitaker back, and then more showing to come. And it's all about dressage later on in the afternoon tomorrow, actually. Bobby Haler's going to be here with me, and we're going to be turning to the world of Pony Club dressage for a bit of a home nation competition. Right, we've seen some great competition. Let's head now to the championship ring and to Nick Brooks Ward.
Well, it is decision time. The first of our championships, the one winner that goes through to the Voltaire Design Supreme Championship. And look, Nigel, not even you have won one of those. Look, okay, Pat, I'll send you one. It's not a problem. This is the new look championship virtual Royal Windsor with the tail virtual champion Supreme. There we go. So that's fantastic. And the reserve gets a lovely, as we do with all our rosettes at Windsor. And then the Supremes obviously get the big ones, but that's for a little bit later on the line. So this is our Pony and Intermediate Championship, Nigel and Pat. We've seen some incredible classes all the way through. And I don't know how you select them. I really don't.
It was very, very difficult. I mean, this is our show pony first and second, our lead rein first and second, or mini pony, our intermediate first and second, and our shown to pony first and second. And this would be a championship that would be worthy of Windsor, Royal Windsor, Horse of the Year show, Royal International. And even though it's a virtual judging, it still is really quite difficult. And Pat and I, we ummed and ahed, but we actually totally agreed in the end, didn't we?
Yes, absolutely. And Nigel said we ummed and ahed. We actually did have an out-and-out champion, and then we ummed and ahed quite at length about our reserve. It was difficult. We had some amazing ponies to choose from, but eventually we did both agree on our champion and our reserve. But it wasn't an easy decision. It was good to have the quality to choose from, but it wasn't easy, was it, Nigel?
No, and there are some serious big winners in that championship. I mean, I can't count how many Horse of the Year winners and Royal International winners. I would think probably.
Or Royal Windsor winners.
Or Royal Windsor winners, yeah. You know, I mean, you know, it really was a top championship.
But I have to say we were very pleased with our selection, and eventually we both decided that was the right way, and it was the right too.
And you have, it's by the sounds of it, like all good championship judges, judged it as a separate competition.
We did.
Yes, I mean, I remember, you'll know, the late John Corrie, when I was probationary judging with him, he always said to me, he said, just remember, when you're judging your classes, make sure you think about your championship, and then you start again.
Yeah, good advice. Some judge he was. So here we go, and our very grateful thanks to everybody for entering their ponies and the intermediates through to this championship, and well done. So we come to our reserve. They were champions at Windsor twice, second at the Horse of the Year show, Royal International Supreme at Midland Counties, the Royal Bath and West, and it is Lucy Glover and Saracen Heavenly Silk. And Pat, you loved it.
I do, and I send my congratulations to Lucy. I know they've had a great deal of success with this homebred intermediate. She rides it so beautifully, so sensitively, and worthy reserve champion of this amazing competition. So I send my congratulations.
And they get this. They get the lovely blue reserve champions. And
it's owned by Sharon and Sarah Harrison. And of course, Sarah Harrison was down to do our show ponies at Royal Windsor in 2020, so she'll be doing them in 2021.
In 2021.
Yeah.
Yes, she will. Yes, she will. And then we come to our champion, the first of our champions going through to the Voltaire Design Supreme Championship, judged later on. And well done indeed. You just look at this, and we talked about this. Lovely photograph, wonderful pony coming down the centre, having won the famous Red Rosette at the Horse of the Year show. And well done indeed to Charlotte Caulfield and Stretcholt New Dimension. Unbelievable.
Totally magical. And again, to use the phrase, it captures a moment in time that that young jockey will remember forever. It was wonderful.
I think there might be a few tears in the eyes looking at that picture of on Charlotte. And you just look at the picture, and the photographer is a genius, because he's picked the pony up just as all 4 feet are off the ground, floating on air, and that is the true phrase used for a show pony.
And I would love for those who are watching to see that photograph and understand that represents our best. And I can't think of a better pony or photograph or jockey to do that for us.
Fantastic. Congratulations. They're on their way to the Voltaire Design Supreme Championship. Well done to Charlotte Caulfield and Stretcholt New Dimension, our pony and intermediate champions, Virtual Windsor Autumn Series 2021.
Yeah, congratulations once again there to Charlotte and to Lucy Glover as well. And lots of messages already coming in, flooding in actually, you know, just saying well done to those amazing little jockeys. And of course, we've got to say thank you and well done to all the teams that work backstage, you know, the grooms, the farriers, the vets. It really does take a small community to produce these winners. Leslie Chubb on Facebook saying well done to the Harrison family and Lucy Glover, my favourite intermediate. Good to hear from you, Leslie. Keep those messages coming in. Here's another quick reminder about what is still to come here this afternoon. And as if by magic, actually, we're almost on time, which means I haven't talked too much today. It's tough. It's tough. Anyway, thank you to everyone who is getting involved from around the world. It's been so nice to hear from you. We won't forget William Whitaker. We'll be hearing from him later on. He's going to be on the phone. We've got the Omega Equine Equitation jumping. We'll remind you about that Virtual Windsor merchandise a bit later. And we're going to the Working Hunter Arena. But first, we know just how much technology has involved when it comes to the tools that we use every day. Saddles are certainly no different. And one company that seems to really be leading the charge is Voltaire Design. And they join us today for our horse wellness segment.
Voltaire Design have been committed to design, research and development in the last 10 years since they were established. At the forefront of that has been the well-being of the horse. The focus being on freedom of movement for the horse and comfort and security for the rider, allowing the partnership to express their full potential. We take these values across our whole range of saddles, which are used by a huge diversity of rider, from your world number 1 Oliver Townend to national amateur riders and even your leisure riders. So we even accommodate your junior and younger riders with our welly saddle and down to your dinky ones with the little bardette saddle.
We ask so much of our horses. It's imperative to have a well-fitting saddle to accommodate their shoulder, their back, and just give them the best tools to do the job we ask them to do. We have always looked to innovate and come up with new products, new ways of fitting, new materials on our products. We're always looking to improve. When you're looking at the saddle, we are basically working in all 4 areas of the panel, which suits the horse as contours throughout, running up the shoulder, down past the wither, centre of the horse's back and the back of the saddle. We don't fit in one area, we fit in all 4 areas to suit the contours of the horse. That way we can give them the most comfortable and the equal contact across the horse's back which they require to do the jobs we ask of them. We also set our gullets super wide, so we're sitting on the muscle of the horse and not interfering with the sensitive areas down the spine. Also, when things get a little bit more complex, we can go further in dropping panels, reshaping panels in certain areas, setting radiuses in certain areas as well to give a little bit more freedom if you've got that super sensitive horse. For example, if something's got a kissing spine and things like that and they just want a little bit more comfort, we can accommodate that. With these saddles, there's over 2,500 combinations, so being able to find something that suits you as a rider but mainly your horse.
Okay, so what we look for with the saddle fit initially, we want 4 fingers with our clearance. We look at freedom of movement for the shoulder, so we want to be able to slide a hand easily down the front of the saddle. We've got those short tree points, so we don't need to worry too much as long as there's good contact all the way along the panel. If I put a little bit of pressure on the seat, making sure that it's nice and even. And then the next thing we look at is balance for the rider, making sure that the saddle's not too uphill, not too downhill. And then obviously once the rider's on board, we make adjustments accordingly.
Well, every single day we are taking a little trip to our horse wellness area at our virtual show, so we'll have more of that to come for you tomorrow. Don't forget the Omega Equine Equitation Jumping. That is still to follow here this afternoon. So many entries took part in that from around the world, actually. You'll be amazed at just how many countries are going to feature. And if you haven't heard of the equitation jumping that we have been doing and have been filming over the last few months, then we've been asking people to do this at home, to get their iPhone out, get their Android phone out, and basically take a video of a pre-prescribed test. So it told them where to walk, where to trot. Then they had to jump down some jumps, and we've got an expert judge picking our champions in that one. So that is our finale for today. William Whittaker Masterclass still to come as well. But we're off to the Working Hunter Arena now, and to take us there, let's send it back over to Nick Brooks-Ward.
And a very, very warm welcome to the one and only Len Nigel Hollings and our superstar judge, who was in Horse and Hound last week. Anne Gilliver is on the show for the very first time. Hello, Anne. How are you?
Hello, Nick. I'm very well, thank you. Thank you for asking me and inviting me.
It's lovely to have somebody so glamorous on our screen. We have Pat Patterson on as well, and then I'm stuck with Len Hollings. It's unacceptable.
Yeah, well, sat next to you, Nick, I am glamorous.
Nigel, that's not very nice. So we've got some wonderful entries, something like 1,122 entries, 16 different countries. We're going to beam this all over the world. And this is our autumn series of the virtual Royal Windsor Horse Show. So it's a busy couple of days. And have you enjoyed looking through the photos?
I've really enjoyed looking through the photographs, and there's been such high quality and lots of variety.
That's good. And I know that Nigel, well, he can't sleep at night for looking at photos. Can you, Nigel?
Well, you know what they say about counting sheep? Well, I've been counting photos, but no, it's been great. It's been great again. I mean, we've had a lot of new photographs, a lot of new interest from overseas as well. And we've had some really high-class animals to look at. So it's been great.
They do. And look what I have. I have the Champions Rosette. We've got a number of championships going on with their virtual Windsor. I've got the Reserve. And then Anna's won one of these Red Royal Windsor Rosettes a lot sooner than you did, Nigel. Your last Royal Windsor Red Rosette was in about 1864, wasn't it? And look, there we are.
Well, you got the right figures. It was actually 2006, I think, was my my last venture, and I never won actually Royal Windsor as a child. I don't like to admit this. I was always second. So actually, although I've trained Royal Windsor winners, my actual one and only was that time in 2006.
How lovely. Marvellous. Great. So shall we crack on? It is thanks to the Swallows, Phil Swallow, for his tremendous support. And he's a great supporter of the Royal Windsor Horse Show, Phil Swallow and his family. And our thanks to Finer Equine for the working hunter and the working show horse. Now, we all know what a working hunter is. But a working show horse is a relatively new competition.
Yeah, I mean, the Royal Windsor is one of our biggest classes, the working show horse, but it's just for the cob, the riding horse, and the hack. That's the working show horses, and it's become very, very popular. Originally, it was just for working cobs, and then we expanded it. And like I say, it's one of our biggest classes, especially at Royal Windsor.
And it's judged exactly the same way in a normal flat class, in a normal show class, Nigel, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the jumping is 60% and the ride is 20% and the confirmation 20%. So, you know, they have to perform. And at Royal Windsor last year, we had 32 entries, I think.
Something like that, yes. Yeah. We've had a lot of entries in this. So should we do the normal stuff, 10 down to 4, and then...
Yeah.
We'll come to you, both of you, for the comments on the top 3. So in 10th place, Emmy Collier. Emmy with a 17 hands Irish draft, Killee Silver Diamond. 9th is Christine Stamper and Ballard Playboy. In 8th place, Polly Coles, Polly and Will I Am. 7th, Sophie Stratton and McAvoy. In 6th place, Sophie Plater and Beyond the Stars. And in 5th place, Kimberly Wilkinson and Hunter Hill's Ice and Spice. 4th is Amelia Storer and Bundle of Dreams. So your top 3. But Nigel, perhaps we should talk about the 5th, an entry from New Zealand.
Yes, I mean, a fantastic photograph. And it's great that we've had a few international entries for the working show horse stroke working hunter class. But yes, I just love the way this is so athletic and the way it tackles the jump. And
you've both judged down under. Is that what they do in the working hunter classes down there? Do they jump the hurdles?
Yes, well, actually, funny enough, the first time I judged in South Africa, they call it a sort of the working riding horse. And believe it or not, there was 2 Porsches parked bonnet to bonnet, and they jump that. They jump all sorts in South. They have the most wonderful courses. And but yeah, the 2 Porsches bonnet to bonnet. Fancy that. Do you fancy doing that at Royal Windsor? Asking Simon if we buy 2 Porsches.
Well, it's a bit difficult because our principal sponsor is Land Rover, Nigel. So
well, 2 Range Rovers then.
Yeah, they're a bit wider bonnets. So should we go down the top 3? In 3rd place, well done to Fiona Benger and Ali Talk.
Yes, I'll go. I'll do the second and third. I'll let Anne do the first one. I mean, what a lovely horse with the spectator in the background. I love the fact it's at an agricultural show, and the jockey is so keen and obviously very confident with this horse. Yeah, no, it's a lovely photo.
Yes, winners at Devon County last year and also second at the Royal Bath and West. And Fiona with Ali Talk in 3rd. 2nd place, well, that is in the Frogmore Arena at the Royal Windsor Horse Show. Well done to Amy White and Silver Scribble.
Yes, you know, it's the famous tree stump fence at Royal Windsor. And, you know, I have watched all the workers at Royal Windsor, the working hunter, the working shows, the working hunter ponies, and they really have to jump. because it's a very, very tough course. And this horse just sails over the fence. It's a lovely photograph. The jockey is going forward with the horse, and it's just suspended in midair, so I love it.
Well, the top two do go through to the championship immediately after this with the Working 100 ponies. And the winners, another picture jumping that fence, that famous tree stump fence, and well done indeed to Jenny Keep and Alva Scott Worldwide, Stanley. And they do dressage, Working 100 cross country, side saddle, they do absolutely everything. So Jenny Keep and Alva Scott Worldwide are our winners of the Working Hunter and Working Show Horse. Nigel?
Yeah, I mean, you just look at this photograph and you just think, wow. And you know, that is what we do. We you know, it's not like being in the middle of the ring, you know, watching these animals. We see them, and it's that image that hits you and just makes you go, wow. And that's exactly what this did. I mean, I think, Anne, you'd agree, wouldn't you?
I would definitely agree, and I think the horse is giving, that looks a big fence, and the horse is giving the fence plenty of room, and it actually looks like it's the second part of the double. I'm not sure if that is right on the photograph. So to think that it's just sort of, it's making that look so easy, and it looks like a proper jumper, and to think that that's a good all-round horse, like Nick said, I think that makes it even more special. We couldn't see that from the photograph, but obviously I think that's a very special horse.
Yeah, I'd love to take that hunting. I really would. Big feet, big ears, and we'll go all day. Fantastic. Well done indeed to Jenny Keep and Alva Scott Worldwide. And our very grateful thanks indeed to Finer Equine and to the Swallows for their tremendous support. We'll see those two a little bit later on in the championship against the ponies. Thank you both very much indeed.
Well, congratulations there to Jenny, to Amy, to Fiona, Amelia, Kimberly, and all the way down the line there. More congratulation messages coming in as Sophie Howard says, well done, Jenny Keep. Naomi says, Jenny Keep smashed it. Joanne Shaw, yay, Jenny Keep. Julian Harris watching as well. If you haven't already done so, make sure you're tagging your friends and hitting that share button as well, and let everybody know they can still hear from William Whitaker. He's going to be on the phone a bit later. We've got the Omega Equine Equitation jumping to follow as well. But we have seen the Working Hunter horses. Let's reduce them in size. Let's go to the very cute ponies, and let's go back to Nick Brooks-Ward.
Pat Patterson, Nigel Hollings, welcome back. For this very generously sponsored by Mr. and Mrs. Phil Swallow. They are tremendous supporters of Windsor and Olympia. And thank you, Phil, for everything that you do for the horse world. It is the Working 100 pony and the Mountain of Moorlands Working 100 pony. And you would have had some real fun. This, to me, is what it's all about. You know, I'm slightly biased, and I think workers should jump fences. I think, and that's how I see it. But you've had some fabulous ponies. You've got ponies from Ireland, you've got ponies from the UK, and you had a lot of ponies in this. You had, what did you have? 50 entries in this. 50.
And I just love the Highlands. I love to see a Highland jump. I don't know why. I think it's the most incredible thing ever.
I'm speechless, Nigel. To see a Highland jump.
Well, I could see.
I'm absolutely speechless.
Yeah, there was dead air for about 4 seconds then.
I know, yeah. And Pat, what's your favourite moments about the Working 100 pony classes? I love them. You love the Desert Orchid at your summer championships, don't you?
Absolutely. In fact, earlier this year, I was being interviewed by some of our young members, and they asked me at the Summer Championships, the SBS, a class that I would never miss, and it is the Desert Orchid. I have to say, for me, although I thoroughly enjoy being at Horse of the Year, it's the creme de la creme of the Working 100 pony world. I'm going to quote Jenny Pittman said some years ago. She watched it and said, if you get round there, you're fit for purpose. And how right she is. Fit for purpose. It is an amazing. Graham Barkley builds a track that actually beggars belief, to be truthful. So technical, so inviting. And yeah, the Desert Orchid is, as I say, my all-time favourite.
Yeah, and you just look behind you and look at the pictures and you can understand why, Pat. But
yeah,
you are absolutely right. Just picking up on those three words, fit for purpose.
Yes, fit for purpose.
And this is when Stuart goes off to the bar, isn't it, Nigel?
Yes, this is. You've not really quite got over that, have you?
No.
You haven't. This is about 4 or 5 years ago. I think it was Polly Eddis. Do you remember, Pat? Polly Eddis' little pony.
It was.
Yeah. Yes, he's. Yeah. I think perhaps we need to get you two together. And at Windsor, we'll get you two together, and we'll get your brother Simon to be mediator, and then we can put it to bed.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he certainly doesn't like the Friday and Saturday of Royal Windsor in the Frogmore Arena because it's all rustic poles and lovely fences. But there we are.
That's why we've never asked him to judge there. Only on a Thursday or a Sunday.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So well done, and our thanks to the Swallows yet again for their tremendous support. In 10th place, it is to the lovely Connemara of Kristen Weishart and Doe Kitty. 9th, congratulations to Harriet Bailey and Sannon Valley Bounce in 9th, jumping a lovely rustic fence. In 8th place, and I can understand why Nigel liked this one, well done to Samantha Osborne and Talisker Bow Bells in 8th. In 7th place, that also judged at Arena UK for the British Show Pony Summer Champs, not the Desert Orchid though, I would say that, in Murray Hall Diesel and Sophie Howard. 6th place, lovely picture, jumping some beautiful fences, the special working hunter fences that we have for Royal Windsor Horse Show in the Frogmore Arena. Amy White, Amy with listener Drisha Tic Tac. 5th place, congratulations to Isabella Stanley, Samantha Stanley's Killocky Golden Cascade. And 4th, we've got to have a comment about this, Nigel, haven't we? Congratulations to Tory Oakes and Cairns Fergus.
Yes,
Humpty.
I remember.
Humpty
I just
to his
adore this
friends.
pony. Yeah.
Humpty. Called
Humpty,
Nigel.
yeah.
Humpty.
I adore this pony. Always have, ever since I judged her about 3 or 4 years ago. And Tory Oakes is a delightful young lady. And yeah, it had to come somewhere. I'm sorry. Despite the red fencing, it had to come somewhere.
Lovely picture. Nigel, despite the red fences, that's a specially built ladybird fence for the Royal Windsor Horse Show in the Frogmore Arena, sir.
Oh, I stand corrected. It's a wonderful fence. It's one of the nicest fences I've ever seen, and that's why it came forth.
But look at the barrels next door. They're special fences. They don't jump those very often, do they?
Every fence is special at Windsor.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, Lisa will be very upset with me if I hadn't said that.
Certainly will. So we come to the top three. And were there many discussions about this one?
I think we were okay with it, weren't we?
Yeah. I think we were. I think we were agreed, weren't we?
Yeah. You know, we actually we have judged together, Pat. We've judged the workers together.
Have we?
At the PSPS Championships. I forgot about that. It was obviously very memorable.
It was obviously so memorable. Tell me when.
Yeah, no, we did agree. We did agree.
He's instantly forgettable. So you know, I wouldn't worry about that. So in third place, to the Royal Dublin Society, to Dublin, we saw this wonderful pony back in May at our virtual. Well done to Gabriel Enright and Ard Fry Remy, the lovely Connemara, and now is jumping, eventing and show jumping, qualified as a young horse, a 7-year-old in Fontainebleau for eventing last year. So what a picture, Nigel.
It's lovely, and we talked about ponies and jockeys being in harmony. These two just trust each other so much. You can see it in the photo. And with the wonderful Royal Dublin showground as the backdrop, it was very, very difficult because, you know, either of the first three could have won, but when we see the other two, they just had something a little bit just different. That's all.
Yes, I agree with that. Yeah.
Well done to Gabrielle and Arnfrey Remy in third. In second, well, look at this. It's a great picture, isn't it? Look at the ears pricked and just wanting to jump.
Yeah.
Jumping. Eve Duggan and Kirching.
Yeah. Yes, can I just pick up on that and say, Nigel talked about partnership, and this is a classic example of a partnership, in my opinion. Trust between jockey and pony. It's super.
And jumping at your championships this year, Pat, as well.
Yeah. And it won't be the easiest fence to jump, would it, Pat?
No, definitely not. And that's why, for me, I'm saying it's super, because it is a perfect example of the trust, the relationship that you build up over time between the pony and the jockey. And I can only say well done, because it is a perfect example of that partnership.
Fantastic. Well done indeed to Eve Duggan and Lisa's Dream. But your winner of the Swallows sponsored Working Hunter Pony and the Mountain and Moorland Working Hunter Pony, wow, what a jump. Well done to Georgia Darlington and Lisa's Dream. Who's going to take this one? I mean, you know, England's Working Hunter Pony for the last 3 years, 3 individual golds and an individual silver, second in all 4 classes at the BSPS Summer Champs last year, including the Desert Orchid, double clear at the Badminton Grassroots. You name it, they can do it.
They can do it.
Well, I'll leave this to Pat. I mean, apart from the photograph and the wonderful animal and the horsemanship, it's a done. And I love duns. So I'll leave the rest to Pat.
Well, I again, amazingly, I agree with Nigel. But again, I have to say, what an example of partnership here. I have watched this young jockey from Cradle Stakes days, and she has put in the work, the dedication, and it proves it. In this photograph, it just says it all. Amazing. And I just offer my congratulations to her. Well done.
Absolutely brilliant. Couldn't have said it better, Pat. Well done. And well done to Georgia Darlington and Lisa's Dream. And they are the winners of our Working Hunter Pony and our Mountain and Moorland Working Hunter Pony Championship. Thank you very much indeed, and well done to Georgia.
Yeah, congratulations there to Georgia and Lisa's Dream. Congratulations as well to Eve Duggan. I know that she is watching on Facebook Live right now, so good to have you with us, Eve. Grace Atkinson says, fabulous winner. And we've also got to say a special hello to Kim Wilkinson, who I think makes a fantastic point, actually. She says, you know, she's watching a wee man into 5th from New Zealand, but she says congratulations to all the other competitors and that there's some gorgeous horses about the world. And I think that's such a great point, because, you know, things like Virtual Windsor are bringing the horse world together, because it doesn't matter where you are, you can watch, or if you've been a little bit more organised and just finding out about it today, then you could have got involved, you could have sent your pictures in and you could compete at a show that perhaps you would never manage to get to just because it's logistically difficult. But even if you can't bring your horse, of course, remember, hopefully, that we're going to be back to more of a normal place by the time May comes around next year, and it would be great to, why not make Windsor, the real Windsor, in the Majesty of the Queen's back garden as your first vacation or holiday after those restrictions have hopefully been lifted. We're keeping everything crossed that you can all be with us in the Castle Arena, in all the other arenas, in the shopping village and everywhere else at the Royal Windsor Horse Show in 2021. But it is not over here this afternoon. We've got lots of other stuff still to enjoy. Coming up, we're going to be having the Omega Equine Equitation Jumping. We've got William Whitaker. He's going to be on the phone. First of all, though, we've seen the horses. We've seen the ponies. Let's go back then to Nick Brooks-Ward for a final time today as he takes us through the championship.
So here we are. It is off to the Voltaire Design Supreme Championship for our working champion. Now, I know that, Nigel, you have judged the working hunters and the working show horses with Angelica, and you've selected these two to come forward between you and Pat. Were there any arguments? That's what I want to know.
Surprisingly, no. Right, on first to 10th, absolutely, Anne says, I totally agree with you. And once I had to sit down, and it was very, very easy. But then again, Pat and I have just been, well, we've been like a married couple, haven't we, Pat?
Yes, almost.
Well, don't tell Terry that, for God's sakes.
No, I think Terry would be quite happy to believe you me.
After 51 years, yes, I'm sure he would be.
Lovely. When you're judging, and you two have only judged once, I've just found out, which I find absolutely extraordinary. And you'll have to sort it out amongst you, both chairs of the British Show Horse Association and the British Show Pony Society. So come on, get a grip, you two. Next year, you can judge together at both your championship shows, please. And I was just thinking, when you're judging the working hunters and the working horse championships and the working show horses that Anne has judged as well, you are looking for the jump. You have to be, don't you?
Yes. And the style.
Yeah, I mean, it's 70% of the marks for the workers, isn't it, Pat? And then for the horses, it's 60% of the marks. Yeah. Yes, it's got to be it's a performance class. But then somebody said something the other day. Do you remember, Pat? We're at the BSPS council meeting, and someone said, yes, but it's a jumping class. And they said, no, it's a jumping class that is also a show class. So we've got to get the right balance. 70-30, 60-40, either way, it does work. And I think we see a lot of good performers now winning. You know, we just need to look at the champions at Windsor or the BSPS championships. I mean, the late Rory Gleason, if you remember, he must have won the working hunters at the Royal Windsor about 3 years on the trot. And they were all performance animals, but good, solid, decent-looking animals that rode well. And it's the same, Pat, with the BSPS championships. You know, we've had some wonderful champions, especially from Kelly Ward's family. I mean, they seem to do very, very well. But good, solid animals, performers that have good limb, decent conformation, and are actually show animals too.
Well, there's three elements, isn't there? You've got the jumping element, and then you have your show element, the actual show that they're going to their manners and their show, and then the conformation. So those three elements combined should give you your ideal working hunter pony. And you know, it's no mean feat to do that. And there are some amazing ponies. And again, you named the family that consistently do extremely well at the highest level. And credit to them because they put the work in.
Yeah.
But it's precisely the same. And Pat, obviously, because of your position, you're talking about the show ponies, the working hunter ponies. But it is precisely the same with working hunters.
Absolutely. And it is, again, building up that trust, the partnership, confidence, and in my opinion, the work that you do at home leads to the success you have at the shows.
Interestingly enough, Nigel and I have been, one of our co-judges is Julian White, who is a very, very good hunter judge, beautiful rider. And Julian yesterday certainly said, he looks for a horse when he gets on it, that it's got to be perfectly mannered, but also it's got to be able to do the job. It can't just float on air. He will imagine it hunting with the Bicester with the Wadden Chase or with the Kimberwick, and it has to do the job. It can't just be a show animal, and I think that's very important.
I think I do agree, because I think, if I'm right, the essence of the working hunter and the working hunter pony classes evolved from the hunting field.
Of course it did.
That is why I said it's important that you have the stamp of a hunter pony with the ability and scope to jump, because that's where my mindset is.
Good.
Yeah, and you said, Pat, earlier, they've got to be fit for purpose. And I think you'd agree, Pat, too, that the courses over the last 10, 15 years have got technically really quite demanding, and the standard is so high. So you have to have a performer if you're going to win. You know, the standard of jumping nowadays, I mean, when I was in working hunter, I couldn't have, with my horses, I couldn't have managed the tracks today without a lot of help from those whose field it is jumping.
I think you're right. I think the courses have become more technical. I personally would like to see everybody taking walking the course more seriously, if I dare say that, because it's the approach, isn't it, to the fence that's the key factor there. Not just about the height, it is about the technicality and how you're going to approach it, how you get.
What I would be saying, Pat, and I totally and utterly agree with you, I see them walking the courses and I think, what I would also say is that you're not going to get a decent distance out in the hunting field. So you've got to be careful and you've got to know what your horse can and can't do. And that's why you should walk the course.
I totally agree with that. And I think for me, to establish and maintain that rhythm, that pace, and I know this is not technical, but to keep coming, as you would out hunting. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jolly good. Okie dokie. Marvellous. Thank you very much, Pat, Nigel. I love your insights. I really do, because I think that genuinely, I don't think enough people hear these from time to time, and I think it's very, very important, and I love it. So we come on, and there can only be one that's going through to the Voltaire Design Supreme Championship, and we come to our reserve and our champion in the Working Horse Championship. Who's going to take the reserve? Because this is a picture. It's a picture and a half. It's lovely big feet jumping for fun at Windsor over a special working hunter fence. Nigel.
Yeah, yes, well, I mean, it is the most marvellous picture. Like you say, in the arena, Frogmore Arena at the Royal Windsor Horse Show, where they do have two working hunter classes, and they are usually very, very big classes. Lisa Kelly builds our courses, and she does the most amazing job. And yes, I think by looking at the photograph, I think that's tree stumps, if I'm correct. But what a magnificent photograph. And Jenny Keep at the virtual Royal Windsor, I think she finished second or third in the Working Hunter.
Yeah.
But this horse, I mean, what a jump. I mean, so much so, she just almost has come a little bit too away from the saddle. But yeah, she's an excellent jockey. But what I bet this horse does excel in other disciplines.
Yeah, and do you know what? This horse can do dressage, working hunter, cross country, side saddle, and you know, only a novice horse last year. So 2021, watch out. Well done to Jenny Keep and Alva Scott, Worldwide, our reserve champion. And then I will let Pat describe this one, because our champion, congratulations from the ponies from the Desert Orchid. Well done to Georgia Darlington and Lisa's Dream.
Well, I think I've said it previously, but for me, the ultimate in a partnership, trust and confidence, and I just was totally blown away by this photograph of, again, a very dedicated, hardworking young jockey who has approached the fence beautifully, and again, it shows, the photograph is just an amazing testament to all the hard work she's put in, and I send my congratulations to her. wonderful.
And Nigel, you'll be pleased because it's a done.
Yes, I mean, my claim to fame is the person who wrote Downland Smuggler, who was a very famous done working under Pony in the 70s. That's it. That doesn't go any further than that. But no, I mean, Pat's has said it all. I mean, I couldn't have put it better myself. I've watched this young jockey from a very early age grow into this hard-working, mature young lady who's very, very talented, has a rapport with the horses. You can see that from the picture and the photograph, and what a lovely animal it is too.
Well done. Well done to them both, but particularly to Georgia Darlington and to Lisa's Dream. They are the working champions of Virtual Royal Windsor Autumn 2020.
Well, I'm sure lots of memories have been made there. Emma Hewson already saying congratulations to Georgia Darlington, and Georgia Darlington's with us on Facebook Live saying thank you so much, and thank you to the judges for their really kind words. And lots of people have been enjoying that commentary led by Nick Brooks-Ward, but of course with so many of the best known judges, not only in the UK but from around the world. It's been a real insight in getting to hear what goes on in their heads when they are trying to choose champions, and it cannot have been easy with over 1,000 entries from around the world, and you've seen just how high the quality is. Another reminder for you here this afternoon, if you haven't already, make sure you get on to the Virtual Windsor website. There's lots of links in the social media, so you can find it dead easy, and you'll be able to take a look at some of our official merchandise for Virtual Windsor, the Autumn Series. So if you've taken part, or if you've just enjoyed it, if you want a bit of a souvenir, and this could be something that's really unique, especially if you are in Australia or South Africa or Canada or America, it is able to be shipped worldwide, and you could have something that no one else has. And of course, everyone's heard of the Royal Windsor Horse Show, everyone recognises that logo. And this has got Virtual Windsor on it, and you can tell them what it's all been about. It's been bringing the equestrian world together. And we're about to bring someone else into the conversation now as well, actually. William Whittaker, you know him, he's from the Whittaker dynasty, and he is with us throughout the weekend, giving us a masterclass. Yesterday, he told us all about course walking, how important it was, gave us some top tips. And if you missed it, where were you? But don't worry, we've got you covered. It's on the Facebook page right now. You can go and enjoy it. Just search for the Royal Windsor Horse Show. You'll find it on there. Loads of people have watched it already. Go on, check it out. It's definitely worth it. But William joins us on the phone now. I know he's very busy. He's on his way to a show today, actually. But first of all, I think we've got to ask, because, so many of us have been at home during lockdown. We've not been going to as many shows, and, keeping that work varied is so important. So, Will, tell us, how do you keep your work varied? And, we saw you ride a couple of great horses when we came to visit.
Yeah, so we try and really do a mixture of all three, try and keep the horses' work enjoyable for them. Lots of different things, not too much flat work in the arena. We're lucky where we are. We've got some good hacking and some good hills. So like a usual sort of routine for the horses, I would usually jump a couple of times a week. Then flat them 3 times a week, and then hacking and field the rest of the week.
And when we came over, you rode a couple of different horses. The first one was a grey. Tell us about, is it a him or a her?
It's a him, a gelding, yeah. He's a 10-year-old horse. It's quite a new horse for me. One that I'm still, sort of learning how he likes to go and learning the buttons that I need to press, really, to get the best out of him. But it's been good. I've been able to, obviously, with what's been going on in the world, it's not been ideal, but in a way it's sort of given me a little bit of time just to not need to rush back to anything, and given me that extra couple of weeks just take my time and let him get used to me and me to him, really.
And it was really interesting to watch you ride that one, because I know some riders, when they get on, their focus is just getting their horse's head in or getting them on what they would class as an outline. But, Your attention just seemed to be on really starting to get him to stretch long and low and in a nice frame. Is that something you sort of consciously do with those younger horses, or the ones that you're getting to know?
Yeah, definitely. It's something I work a lot on with all my horses. I think it's important to build up a good top line on the horses, and also when you're working them, activate those core muscles. And I think working the horses nice and forward and long and low in the neck is how I find I get the best work out of them, really. So yeah, I was really focusing on that with him. He's a very blood horse. What you need nowadays at sort of top level show jumping. So he's very aware of everything what's going on, which can sometimes distract him from, really stretching down and relaxing.
And is there any secrets on how to encourage the stretch? Is it just a case of controlling through the outside and trying to encourage with the inside rein, or?
Yeah. So I kind of, give that good supportive outside rein, so the horse knows you're there, and develop that contact that you need. Yeah, and then kind of play a little bit with your inside hand, and try not to take the neck too short to start with. Sort of work forward, keeping that contact, and then just encouraging the horse to take the head and neck lower and lower. But yeah, that's how I start and work, and really the key is just take your time. It's one of those things that can't be rushed.
Now, the first pole exercise you did with him was like a bit of a fan on the short side. Tell us about the distances, and why do you build on the short side and on the fan rather than just in a straight line on the long side?
I think I hit at 2.5 meters, and I do it on a circle just because I find doing the exercise on a circle can almost encourage that stretch a little bit more. You can sort of start a little bit more on the inside of the fan, where the distance between the poles is not as long. And then as the horse gets accustomed to the exercise and starts to relax, then you can sort of drift slightly to the outside of the fan, where the distance will become longer and the horse has to stretch even more. It's handy as well because you don't need to adjust the distance of the pole as well. So you don't need to have someone there always adjusting the length of the poles. You can set it up yourself and then start on the inside and then work to the outside.
And after you finished on those poles, you had a bit of a breather. Is that for you? Is it for the horse? Is it for both?
For both, I think. I think it's something I like to do quite a bit, especially after an exercise like that. I think it does the horses good to just have a minute because some horses find it more difficult than others, and it can be quite challenging for them mentally as well as physically. A lot for them to take in. So I think just letting them have a minute, letting what they've done soak in, and sort of just have a breath. And for you as a rider as well, just think about what you've just done and the exercise, and if you was doing everything correctly.
From there, you moved on to some cavalettis, just on the sort of lowest setting, and cavalettis seem to be getting more and more popular again. Are they something you use a lot in your work?
Yeah, it's the next step up, I find, from your pole work. Just makes it a little bit more challenging for the horse. They have to stretch a little bit more when the poles are raised.
And when you were going over those cavaletti rails, you really see the horse starting to stretch down. He looks really light in your hand, and I know you wouldn't want to come to like a 160 oxer in that canter, but that base work helps you when you get into the ring, doesn't it? It helps set up the canter. Yeah, definitely. And as well, it's giving him the strength. It's giving him that strength that he's going to need, the core strength, to jump in those big jumps. Like you say, you wouldn't come to a 160 jump. Obviously, your rhythm and your tempo would be much bigger than what it is there. But I think being able to have that sort of work as your foundation, as your starting point, gives you really something to build on. Because you don't always work a horse at ring pace. When I'm riding a horse on the flat, you're almost taking him to the gym.
you know. So you're trying to give his body a real good workout and get all those muscles working.
And then I think the next horse you brought out, I think it was a bay, and I think it was one you said was maybe rushing its fences a little bit.
Yeah, so he's a 7-year-old horse. He's not got that much experience for his age, really, and it was a good it's a good test for you as a rider to tell if your horse is coming nice and even to the jump with the pole, because it's a set distance. You know, if you get into the pole and over the first pole and the first distance to the jump is really short, then you know the horse is rushing at the jump. If the first distance is riding nice, but the second one's getting very short, then you know that the horse is rushing after the jump. But that's one of those exercises as well that I just started doing with him. I also put a V-pole on, and that just encouraged him to stay very straight at the jump, because what I didn't want him to do was rush over the first distance and then start drifting from left or to right to try and find himself a bit of room. Sometimes what the horses can do is drift from one side to the other to try and find that extra bit of room to jump the jump. But that's not really what we're aiming for. We want them to stay really nice and straight at the jump. So that's why I put that V-pole on.
And something I found quite interesting, when you were warming this horse up, he went round on the left rein with no issues. Then you came onto the right rein, trotted down the long side, and he was really spooky at something. I think it might have been our camera, actually. And I wanted to mention this because you always make it look so easy, so it was kind of nice to see you try to fix something. And if it had been another rider, they may have tried to pull the horse up or get after it a little bit, but it looked like you just sat really quietly and just rode it forward.
Yeah, it was strange, wasn't it? I don't really know why, to be honest. I remember it was the camera that he was spooking at. And it's funny because on the left rein he trotted past it absolutely fine, and then changed the rein and trotted past it on the right, and he must have just seen something from a different angle that he didn't quite expect to be there. You know, obviously we don't have cameramen in the arena at home very often. But I always think that's good to sort of create that problem, because that's kind of one of the problems you'd have at the show. I think it's important, especially with a horse like him, like we were saying, he has a tendency to hold himself a little bit and then rush at the jump. I often find with it, if he starts to get spooky and then I kind of get tight on him, then everything just becomes this big, tight, a really tight horse and a really tight rider and nowhere to go really.
Yeah.
Whereas you just kind of keep a nice contact on his mouth and just try and ride him forward. I found that he settled down a lot quicker.
Now, as you were riding round on that horse, your daughter Bella was in the ring as well, and we'll be hearing from her and seeing you teach her tomorrow at Virtual Windsor. But she seems to have been bitten by the showing bug. So how's your showing knowledge?
It's not very good, I tell you. It's not very good. I've had to go back to the textbooks, the showing textbooks, and try and. To be honest, though, we have got George's fiance, Michaela Wood. She is. They're big into showing, and they have a stable in Harrogate, and they've got lots of show horses. So we've been very lucky in that respect.
Just before we let you go, tell us about the story when she went to her first show, and you needed to do some extra preparation when you got there.
What was that?
I think Michaela had to make some quick changes to tack, and I think there was some clipping and stuff going on.
Oh yeah, there was. Yeah, so we went to the show. It was about a month ago now. The first show, she got this new pony, this little coloured pony, and lovely little pony. So we got there, and Elizabeth had been up at the crack of dawn, and she'd plaited. We got all plaited up, and I thought the pony looked very smart. And we got what we thought was a nice bridle and one thing and another. So anyway, we thought we'd send a picture to Michaela to get her seal of approval.
Yeah.
Anyway, we had the wrong bridle on. We had the pony was plaited and it had feathers, which is apparently a massive no-go. So then it was a major rush back to the car park. Elizabeth was there clipping legs in the car park, and I was trying to find another bridle that had some sort of plaited brow band or something. And my goodness me, I just thought, my upbringing, a bridle's a bridle.
Exactly. Well,
but we've had to get a bit more. We've had to get a bit more savvy with the showing job.
Well, I know how busy you are. You're on your way to your show at the moment, so we'll let you go. But Will, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks very much, Adam.
Well, great to hear from Will Whittaker, and of course he'll be joining us once again on the final day of Virtual Windsor, the Autumn Series for 2020. Tomorrow he's going to be giving his daughter, who we were just chatting about there, he's going to be giving her a quick lesson, and we're going to hear from him, what it's like to be a Whittaker, to be able to phone, if you've got an issue, you could phone John, you could phone Michael, you could phone Stephen, Robert, Ellen, Joanne, Claire. I'm bound to have missed about 20 of them. Anyway, he's back tomorrow on our final day. Another reminder as well about our official merchandise. It is available right now through the website. It's definitely worth having a look at. We make a great Christmas present, and it's available for international shipping. So no matter where you are in the world, you can get your hands on the merch. And if you want to find a link, just head along to the social media. It's on there. You can also see William Whittaker's Course Walk Masterclass. It's available now. It's on Facebook, and it's also going to be on our YouTube channel very soon as well. One final thing left to do today, and lots of you will have been waiting for this because it's something that's brand new here at Virtual Windsor, and it's called equitation jumping. Now, if you've got no idea what that is, then you're about to find out. But very quickly, to give you a sort of overview, there's a sort of pre-prescribed test. So it's a test that tells you when to walk, when to trot, and then at the end you've got to jump down a line of fences. And we've got an expert judge standing by, waiting to take us through the two sections. So let's hand it over to the Omega Equine Equitation Jumping. It's our final instalment here on day 2, and remember, keep hitting share.
So, welcome to the Virtual Windsor Autumn Series Equitation Jumping. I'm Holly Farr, and I've got the wonderful Julian White with me too.
Hello.
Hi, Julian.
Hello. Good afternoon or good morning, everybody. We are here ready to start assessing the riders and their ponies. We're starting with the under-16s.
I can't wait to see what these riders have done for us.
And in 20th place, we've got Misha Hewitt. In 19th, it's Ava Collins. 18th, Abby Rose. 17th, Miriam Holmes. 16th, Emily Wood. 15th, Laurie Pennin. 14th, Lucy Prendergast. In 13th, it's Eliza Hanna. In 12th, Megan Park. And in 11th, Emily Cahill. And now, our top 10 riders in the under-16s. Well done to Ella, Jemina, Punyafat, Emma, Rosemary, Millicent, Amelia, Eleanor, Abby and Amy. We will be playing their rounds in reverse order, so get ready to have a look at number 10.
So, our top 10, this is Ella Deegan and Ashel Panache. This is a lovely little coloured pony coming in.
We had a very nice, purposeful walk. I like the walk on this pony. And a halt when he finally puts his leg down. Could have waited a little bit longer in that halt, but moved off again into a very purposeful walk and a nice transition.
Very sweetly into trot. It's quite difficult doing this in a grass arena against riding in a school, and into canter very sweetly. Round the corner to the fences.
Lovely straight line down the line of 3 fences that we have here, and a good balance on her landing. That is very nice.
So she goes into 10th. Ella goes into 10th with a 77. Well done, Ella. Right, now we've got Abby Ways, and she's riding Curragmore Snowy. She's going into 9th place.
Little bit overbent there in the walk.
Tiny bit of resistance into hold.
Nice halt though, square in front.
Yeah.
Little bit above the bridle.
Let's see what this transition's like. Sweetly down the long side. Pops into canter.
Little bit bent coming down to the fence. Could have been a little bit straighter, but jumped nicely. Kept a nice rhythm and balance after the fence. Very good score.
Well done, Abby.
It's nice to see them in a rhythm and balance after the fence, because you've got to imagine then they're going to be jumping a course. So they need to have their horses back as if they're turning left or right for another combination or another fence coming up.
Right, our next competitor, Amy Bennett and River Songs. They go into 8th place. Well, finally got to a fabulous square hole.
Finally got there.
That's lovely round the corner. Oh, a little bit of resistance again, but only a little.
Nicely turned out. Plaited mane and tail.
Beautiful mane and tail.
It's got a nice little lower leg there. Properly weight drop down through her heels.
Beautifully round the corner.
Nice. That was lovely, actually. And a nice communication. You could see that between horse and rider. Very happy together.
And she goes into equal 7th on a score of 80. These marks are all very close together, very competitive at this top end of the board. Our next competitor, this is Eleanor Mayhew and Glorious Lady.
She looks a little bit resistant there.
I'm going to say keen, very keen.
I think she wants to get on with the job.
They know there's jumps. I mean, it is different, this test. They do some flat work, their dressage, and then they go into the jumping all in one circuit. It's pretty quick.
And particularly some of these ponies, they've only got to have a fence in the arena, and they know already that they're off.
What a sweetly down the long side there. And
Lovely
nicely into canter.
Lovely transition. Nice with her hands. Lovely hands down that line.
That was a lovely line. Let's see what mark she gets.
She could stay sitting up a little bit on her corners.
So yeah, that's a score of 80. So that's the equal 7th.
They're good scores. This last top 10.
Yeah, they're very tight together. Very competitive. So we've got our next competitor, Amelia Poet and Caribous Funfair. Gosh, almost a square hole. So close. Nice walk, nice and free.
Very purposeful walk. Nice transition. Could have a little bit more up into the hand. Nice transition.
Yeah, and yeah, round.
Around the corner.
Are we going to be straight?
Lovely, lovely jump out over that last fence. See how he dropped and used his head and neck there. That was very nice.
Can we use the word very athletic?
I think we can.
And that's a score of 81. So that puts Amelia into 6th place. And that was a lovely line through those fences. Let's hope we get some more like that. Okay, now we've got a rather lovely looking black horse, Rosemary Sutherland and Hillwood Quest. Beautifully turned out, Julian, don't you think?
Lovely, lovely combination. Looks very nice. Nice halt.
And round the corner, very purposeful, and into trot.
Nice. Very good. Lovely little trot. Nice canter.
Now let's see what it's like round to the fences.
Nicely round the corner, straight up to the fence. A little bit forward in her body coming down to the fence, but very nice. She's got a good balance back again.
Oh, I think we're going to get another halt. We haven't had one of those yet.
There we go. Oh, and a nice salute. Well done.
Oh, she's very pleased with her pony. Well done.
Okay. So you can see them doing a nice little round in a show jumping course. Good.
Yeah, and so that's a score of 82. That goes into equal 4 for Rosemary. That was a lovely test. I really enjoyed watching that one.
They're good high scores. We're on 82 already, and we're still only just coming down to the final 3.
Right, a nice looking grey pony. This is Millicent Dethrick and Swallowfield Simplicity.
Oh, nearly a square hole. That's nice.
We're looking for that elusive square hold.
Oh,
where is it?
looking for it.
Oh, lovely free trot. Look at this, moving
That's
well.
Nice. Little bit down on the bridle, but that's okay. He's moving through his body.
Let's see what he's like round to the fences again.
Could be a little straighter, but that's okay.
Slightly harder in a grass arena without a fence to keep you in. So
Yeah.
I think that was very well achieved.
Very, very nice indeed.
Yeah, so Millicent got an 82, which is the other equal fourth.
Ooh, just 1 point ahead.
It's just proving how different it is, all these different arenas and different countries. We've got quite an eclectic mix going on.
Okay, next we have Punyafat Budsenkom, which I hope I've pronounced right.
Almost a square hold. Again, square in front, not behind.
And look at this. I mean, as little young rider, riding very confidently there on her pony.
Oh, look at it. This is lovely, lovely movement down the long side into canter.
Sitting
Right.
well.
Let's see what the jumps are.
Very good.
She was sitting very pretty there, wasn't
Very
she?
straight,
Because
very
she didn't get in
upright.
front of the movement.
Straight down the line, nice communication. Very
So
good.
that puts her into third on an 83. Gosh, these scores are good.
Lots of nines there, I see.
Okay.
A lot of nines.
Okay, next in we have Jemima Hallett and Bess. Now this is another gorgeous colour. Come on, give us a square hold.
Oh,
Oh,
if
so
it
close.
wasn't for that pesky fly, I
Ah.
think we had a square halt there.
Let's blame it on the fly.
Yeah. Nice walk. Nice typical trot down the long side.
She rode that well, actually. You could see
Yeah.
the horse Penny trying to resist, and she wouldn't let it. And to turn, let's see what the turn's like.
Nice and straight. Lovely.
And
Very
a nice
nice.
finish too. Well done. So what's her score? That's an 85. Look at those nines. That's an 85, which puts her into second.
Now,
So Emma Hewson and Laith Hill Flute.
lovely halt.
Hooray! A beautiful square halt.
What a lovely little pony that is. And a really nice combination.
Look, it's expressive. It looks like he's enjoying it.
Very expressive. A lovely transition into trot there. Moving well.
Oh, this is
Riding
lovely.
really nice. What a lovely little rider as well.
Yeah, very effective rider. Coming round to the fences.
Really nice. Good there. And see the strength of her lower leg. She's in good balance. Great rhythm. And a really nice combination. Really nice combination. I imagine she wins a lot of classes actually, show jumping with her pony.
Yeah, she got an 88, which obviously wins the class. And then we can see why. I mean, she did a lovely, lovely little test for us.
Yeah.
So well done, Emma.
Well done, Emma. Congratulations. And Laith Hill Flute.
So once again, thank you to our wonderful sponsors Amiga, who've got a few little treats there for you, so do remember to use that code. And now we're back into the second half of the equitation jumping, and we're looking at the open riders. So congratulations to Becky Gamble, Tegan Campbell, Jessica Lambert, Carolyn Thomas, Ciara Bennett, Rebecca Dowd, Karen Whitaker, Gracie Tite, Georgia Seeger-Hillier, Jennifer McGuinness. And then in 20th place, we've got Sophie Preston, 19th, Conor Garvok, 18th, Tina Wallace, 17th, Paris Maria Johnson, 16th, Ellen McMahon-Brown. In 15th place, it's Bonnie McIver from Australia. 14th place goes to Millie Morrison. In 13th place is Grace Jenkins. In 12th place is Suzanne Van Roon, representing the Netherlands. And in 11th place, it's Leanne Carell. And so we go to our top 10. Remember, we'll be showing these on your screen in just a moment in reverse order, so keep watching to find out who's won. And now, let's go back to Julian and Holly for the judging.
Right, so we've got our first competitor in in the top 10 for the Open, and it's a little dun Connie, and I rather adore these. Over to you, Julian.
Yeah, I do. I love a Connie, and I love a Dun, and I just love his little socks. Nice halt we've got there. Moved us well, very purposeful in his walk. Turned out lovely. Nice transition into trot.
Yeah, it's got a nice rhythm and balance again, hasn't it? A good old Connie trait, but little ears pricked, straight into canter. Round the corner. Let's see how straight she is.
That was lovely. He had a really nice balance down that line of fences, and he was very straight, and they came back together after the fences and around the corner very well. So that was a really nice test.
So, Rosie Coulson, she is in equal ninth on a score of 78. These scores are going to be tight, I think, at top. Next competitor in, this is Mia Coombs, and she's riding Arizona Rain.
There we have again, sitting nicely. Nice little horse here, coming into the halt. Oh, nearly, not quite the square halt, but nice enough. She held her position. Nice salute there to the camera. Nice rhythm in that walk. Actually has a very nice transition into trot.
Yeah, another one with nice rhythm down the long side. Quite a big horse. Well, it looks a big horse, and pops into canter sweetly. Now let's see how it takes the approach to the fences.
That is very nice. Lovely line down that set of fences. And she sat particularly well. She had a very good lower leg there, and she stayed in a nice balance.
And she also goes on to 78, which is equal ninth. It's going to be tight. Beth Bevan and Tirrywarn Harry.
This is a lovely little Welsh pony here. I'm guessing as well, we're up on the Welsh hills. Lovely
Stunning
halt.
scenery, stunning.
Very nice. Nice walk. Good. Waiting for that nice transition into trot, which we got.
Yeah, very purposely ridden by her. Lovely little trot down the long side and sweetly into canter. Well done. Round to the fences. Let's see what you're going to do. Ooh.
She rode that really well because he had a little bit of an argument coming down to that just on the turn, and she just stayed in her balance and she just kept her aids together and jumped a lovely straight line down those fences.
Well, she was just one mark better, 79, which takes her into 8th place. Well done, Beth. Right, now we've got a grass arena, Madeleine Loweth and Brookhill Monksland.
This looks a nice horse. Good walk. Very nice halt. Lovely square halt there. Good salute.
Beautifully turned out.
Very nicely turned out. They look a very good combination.
Yeah, that was nicely into trot down the long side. Again, slightly harder in an open arena. Sweetly into canter and round the short side to the fences.
That's really nice. And yeah, I totally agree with Holly. As she came around that turn, whereas when you're in an open grass arena, you don't have the same fence line to hold you in. And she rode that turn very nicely and was lovely and straight down the line.
Nice to see some bigger fences as well. So again, one mark higher, 80 she scored, which takes her into 7th place. Our next competitor now. This is Freya Jones and Hasina.
Nice halt. Looks quite a tall horse, this. Nice transition into her trot.
You all seem to have quite good rhythm down this long side. Sometimes that could be quite tricky. Let's see her into canter. Yeah, very nicely into canter. Round the short side to the fences again, looking very keen.
Nice. Very nice. And a nice selection of fences. We have a little oxer to finish there, which is nice. The first one I've seen.
Again, 1 mark better. So on to 81, which takes her into 6th place.
They are very close here, aren't they, this final
They're
turn?
ridiculously close. Right, our next competitor, Stephanie Anderson and Lady Chasserley.
This is a nice horse. I like this horse. She's got nice limb. I like how she is. Has a lovely halt there. She's got a good walk on her.
Nice relaxed walk, isn't it?
Really nicely relaxed.
Nicely into trot.
Lovely transition into her trot.
And again, the horse looks very happy down the long side and into canter. Round the short side, ears pricked.
Nice. Very nice. That's lovely. Very nicely ridden. They clearly have a very good partnership. She had a good balance through there, lovely rhythm, and held another, again, very straight line down through her fences.
So yet again, 1 mark better, onto 82. She goes into 5th place. Like we said, this was going to be very, very close, and it is very, very close.
They're all very consistent. It's a good standard of riding. It's nice to see.
Well, they are the top 10. And an indoor school, this one, this is Kaylee Isaacs and Fabio. Oh, I think we're going to like this one.
Again, yeah, another nice horse. Lovely, lovely halt. I think this horse may have done a bit of dressage. She sits very nice, very tall. She's got a good contact. Beautifully into trot.
Very purposeful, this horse. It's happy to move forward. Very sweetly into canter, round the short side. Yet again, let's see how she approaches these fences. Nice turn into them.
Lovely. Yeah, very nice. Again, very nicely done. Nicely ridden.
Well, Kaylee, if you just recorded a little bit longer, we'd be able to see the end of that last movement. Unfortunately, you lost a few marks for that, but never mind. We're on 83, and that takes you into 4th. Oh, agree, Connie. Megan Elphick and Commons Delight. I'm going to like this one, Julian.
You do like your Connies.
Obsessive.
Obsessive. Again, nice hold. Square in front. Not particularly square behind, but again, on top of his legs and very nice. Nice walk. And a nice transition into the trot.
Now that's swinging along nicely down the long side. Let's see what she's like into canter. Yep, I can use the word pops into canter. Round the corner. Very happily down to the fences.
And pops very nicely down that line of fences.
They're quite big.
Lovely. Very nice.
Gosh, a score of 85. That takes her into 3rd place. I wonder what the next two are going to have for us. Okay, our next competitor, this is Emily Dunstan and Call Me Divine. Let's see if it is divine.
It does look quite divine so far.
Mm.
I know she's not entirely square there, but I said it before, that expression of being on top of her legs. She stood up very nicely on her legs, not strung out. Good walk. Very nicely into trot.
Well, this horse has lovely movement down the long side. Swinging along happily into canter. I think this will have no problems coming around to fences. No, it doesn't.
Very nice. Lovely combination. Very nice combination. I'm sure this combination have had quite a lot of success competing.
Yeah, and look at her, 2 marks ahead, 87, which takes her into 2nd. I think that's well deserved.
Yeah.
But now we've just got 1 more to go. Oh, here's our last competitor, Catherine Snodden and Oxnead Africa, a gorgeous little Palomino.
Look at that, lovely, lovely halt. Another Palomino, I think if I'm right in saying a Palomino won a young class as well, our juniors.
Well remembered.
Nice transition into trot. What a nice moving little horse this is.
It's a lovely combination. That's a lovely trot, ears pricked. Straight into canter, swinging along.
Lovely.
Down to the fences.
That's very nice. She rode that very nicely. She had a very good position. Her communication with her horse all the way through between leg and hand was very nice, and it showed in her transitions. And I think that was very well deserving of a winning round.
And fantastic to see a 10. So she finishes on 89, which makes her our winner. Well done, Catherine.
Well done to everybody.
A really well-deserved win there for Catherine Snodden and Oxnead Africa, that gorgeous Afflinger who's just taken the Amiga Equine Open Equitation Jumping title. In second place, Emily Dunstan and Call Me Divine. Third, Megan Elphick with Commons Delight. Fourth, Kaylee Isaacs with Fabio. And in fifth place, Stephanie Anderson and Lady Chatterley.
Well, some great winners there, and great to see something a little bit new as well in our equitation jumping, courtesy of our friends at Omega Equine. Now, if you were watching that throughout, and if you were watching the under 16 section, then we've got to say a very special well done to Kate, who was actually down on that graphic. Did you spot it? She was down as Emma, but it is in fact Kate. So well done to you, Kate. Well done to all our winners today. And a huge thank you to each and every one of you that have joined us, that have got involved, that have been sharing, that have been commenting as well. And you can continue to do that. Obviously, I can't read them out because, well, I won't be here till tomorrow at 1 p.m. British Summer Time, UK time, 1 o'clock. That's 5 a.m. on the west coast of the US, 8 a.m. on the east coast, 10 p.m. in Australia, 2 p.m. in Central Europe and South Africa, 1 p.m. UK time. That is when we are back and we will be live. Final reminder as well here this afternoon, if you get a couple of minutes, head onto the website and take a look at this good stuff, the official merchandise. It is all yours on the Virtual Windsor website, and we're going to be shipping it worldwide. It makes ideal presents. Christmas is coming. Get organised, get on there, and this could be something really exclusive, especially if you live in a different country. No one else is going to have this merch, so get on there and take a look. Anyway, whatever you're up to for the rest of your day, you're probably going to bed if you're in Australia, but if you're anywhere else in the world, enjoy it. If you're out competing today, very best of luck, and don't forget, come back and join us for the final day of Virtual Windsor, the Autumn Series for 2020. I'm Adam Cromarty. Enjoy your day. We'll see you back here tomorrow